When you look at Layton Christian, you already talked about their size advantage. They've got a few guys that get the job done. Anybody on their team you feel like you've got to slow down today?
We got to stop number 2. We got to slow him down. You're not going to keep him. You're not going to keep him scoreless. You just got to limit his big plays. We got to make them drive down the field. We got to make them 4 or 5 yards a pop instead of the 80-yard runs and stuff. And so if we can make them play our game and go sideline to sideline, we got a chance because they might get tired.
They've got one of the top receivers in as well, Malik Johnson. What do you do to try to cover him?
Well, hopefully we can get pressure on, and hopefully Colton Barnes has a big game.
How's the health of your team coming into this game?
We're good. No excuse there. I got no excuses. They're a 1A football team. We're a 1A football team. We're just going to line up and do our best.
What 2 or 3 things have to happen today for your team to get the win?
You got to catch football, and we got to go fast. We're going to go 2-minute the whole game. So hopefully we can get in a rhythm and hopefully going side to side. Where's the big guys out?
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for joining us and good luck.
Thank you. We'll need it.
Once again, Coach Thane Marshall there, the Milford Tigers here in the pregame show for the 1A semifinal between number 4 Milford and number 1 Layton Christian. You got to hear from Coach Ray Stowers already. Tyler, as they wait for the football to be dropped in via helicopter with Malik Johnson for LCA, Trey Rose from Milford out there at midfield. Your thoughts on both those coaches had to say coming into this game?
They pretty much talked about all the things that we covered. Like I said, I think the game plan that Coach Marshall put out there that they're going to have and trying to wear Layton Christian's big guys out on defense, I think that's a great approach. It's going to come down to execution, and if both teams can execute, we could be in for a shootout, high-scoring game. But if Milford fails to execute, Layton Christian will pull away from this football game.
So that's going to be crucial in this game here today. As again, you've got the 2 players, one of the captains from each team's meeting out at midfield as that helicopter brings the football in. As it comes in from the south end zone, just over the Harris Center. They're at Southern Utah University, getting ready to drop in the football here to those 2 players sitting at midfield, right at the T-Bird here on SU's Eccles Coliseum. Again, it is an ice-covered field here this morning, and chunks of ice throughout it. The footing is pretty good out there, Tyler, as you and I were walking on it. Football gets dropped. Trey Rose will grab that for Milford. But again, it's kind of a nice covered field here. Footing's all right, but it's not going to feel good when you go down because it is just chunks of ice down there that will be I think is going to be a little bit of a factor when it comes to running the football today.
Yeah, and it's just crazy that we've had this kind of weather, and both teams, I think, Milford's kids are tough. There's no doubt about it. And Layton Christian, they live in northern Utah. They play in the cold. They practice in the cold. They've gotten, storms early in the season. I just think it's going to be a good football game, and both teams are going to have to battle through the adversity of what the field is and what the weather's doing. So whoever can overcome that adversity the best is going to come out victorious.
And again, Milford did win the coin toss and elected to receive. They want to start with the football first. You like that idea?
Yes, they need to get on the board first. I think that's part of this game is make Layton Christian chase you. They're a run dominant team, and you and I both know that if you're a run dominant team and you get behind 2 scores, it's hard to overcome it. And if Milford can score an early touchdown and get a stop, and then score another one, that puts Layton Christian in a bad position because you only have so much time.
So Bo Hardy back to receive the kick, standing at his own 5-yard line for the Milford Tigers, and the LCA Eagles getting set to kick this one away. Kicker for Layton Christian is Davi Paulino, left-footed kicker for the Eagles. As he will make his approach, they'll go left to right across your TV and computer screen, and Milford will be going right to left. Layton Christian in all black helmets, black jerseys, black pants, with Milford in the red helmets, red pants, and white jerseys. There's the kick. It is away. Hardy drifts back to about the 2-yard line, and he'll bring it out there from the right hash, bring it out to the far side of the field. Had a nice little seam to run through, broke through one-arm tackle, gets to the edge, and pushed out of bounds at about the 35-yard line.
Yeah, 37-yard line. It's hard to see. The sideline markers are covered by Milford sideline, and with all the snow on the field, it's hard to see where you're at. But good starting field position for Milford to get this drive going.
It's about a 35-yard return for Bo Hardy, and he'll be in the backfield with Kilo Associate quarterback now for the Tigers. 3 receivers to the left, 1 wide right. As Sosi gets set from the shotgun position, they're going to bring Colton Barnes in motion. They're going to pitch it out to Hardy. Hardy tries to get to the edge. A lot of pressure coming at him. Cuts back up, gets wrapped up in the backfield, and goes down for a loss of 2 back at the 35-yard line.
Great pursuit by Layton Christian. They were prepared for that play, the toss outside. They had great contain. I thought Bo still had a little room on the edge there to keep running, but he cut back early.
Sosi takes a snap, fakes the hand. If he's going to throw deep down the sideline, he's got Trey Rose open, makes the catch. Does he stay in bounds? Yes, he does. Into Layton Christian territory, down to the 41-yard line.
Perfectly thrown ball by Kilo Sosi, and Trey Rose got a little separation. If he'd have threw it just a little bit further, Trey Rose probably would have got a touchdown out of it because he was open.
24-yard pickup, 1st and 10 at the LCA 41. Sosi again in the shotgun formation, pitches it to Hardy. Hardy to the right side of the field, has some room to run, tries to make a cutback, and he gets forced out of bounds after about a 5-yard gain down to the 36-yard line, maybe 37.
Great job by Bo finding the edge. He had one guy spying him, number 4, the middle linebacker, Braden Bott for Layton Christian. He's pretty much spying Bo Hardy, it looked like to me.
Sosi takes a snap now, looking to his left. He throws deep, looking for Sadler Barnes, and overthrows him as it falls incomplete. And that's where this is going to be tough, those timing routes, because even though the footing's pretty good compared to what it could be with what you look at it, it is still going to slow down the receiver. So those timing routes are going to be a little bit harder to time.
Well, and right there, Kilo was locked in on Sadler Barnes the whole time, but Drayton Blackburn was open in the flat. 3 guys covered Sadler early.
Double twin set. Hardy to the right of Sosi in the backfield, shotgun formation, and Layton Christian has multiple guys jump across the line, so they will move it forward 5 yards and make it 3rd and 1 now for Milford after the first penalty of the game goes against LCA.
You know, that's how you beat an aggressive team, because Layton Christian's gunning. They're ready to rock and roll, and Milford did a great job picking up 5 free right there.
So 3rd and 1 now for the Tigers. Again, double twin set. Same formation here as Layton Christian showing some pressure off that right edge. Sosi looks to the sideline after the hard count, gets the new call from offensive coordinator Wes Marshall. Hardy to his right, takes a snap, looks to his right, short pass, that's going to be caught by Rose, bounces to the outside for a 1st down and more as he gets inside, I believe, the 30-yard line. Yeah,
inside the 25. He's at that 22.
Yeah, down to the 22. Good look. 10-yard gain.
Little short stop route for Trey Rose.
Make it a 20 to the 23, so 1st and 10 there for Milford. Again, double twin set. They're going to send Blackburn in motion, take the snap, fake the handoff to Hardy, look to his left. He's going to throw the deep route for Barnes, and overthrows him again as it falls incomplete.
Sadler got held a couple times on that route. 2 guys covering him on the corner route. Somebody that I can't figure out. Layton Christians, they're doubling up this side all the time. Trey Rose was in single coverage on that far side on that play.
So 2nd and 10 from the LCA 23-yard line. 2 backs in the backfield. Sosi takes a snap, fakes to Hardy. Quick pass out to Colton Barnes. Got a block, bounces inside the 20, dives down toward the 15-yard line. Nice gain for Colton Barnes on the pass from Sosi.
Yeah, good-looking screen play for Colton Barnes. He made one guy miss, and he does have that explosive speed that he can get to the sticks in a hurry.
So an 8-yard pickup down to the 15, makes it 3rd down and 2 for the Tigers. Down to 10:14 to go here in quarter number 1 of this 1A semifinal game. Takes the snap, does Sosi. Quick pass to Barnes again, and he gets hit as the ball got there, and it falls incomplete. And that'll make it 4th and short for Milford.
Early 4th down decision right here for Coach Marshall. Not ideal kicking conditions, but they have a kicker that could make the field goal from this far, but I doubt that they go with that option.
Max Montgomery was there on the play defensively for Layton Christian. Be on the near side hash. 4th and 2. Trips right, 1 receiver to the left. That's Sadler Barnes. Shotgun formation for Sosi with Hardy to his right. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff, rolls the pass. Pressure coming, tries to get outside the pocket. Tucks it and runs. Has the 1st down and more as the flag flies. And he takes a shot on the play. And another flag will come in as a result of that. He's got the 1st down inside the 10, but Sosi is slow to get up as he went into that slide and took a shot.
Yeah, that penalty right there is probably going to be a targeting, but I'm curious to see what the first one is because it come from the far side. I don't think it was a hold on Milford because the 2 linemen that were on that side were let go.
Yeah, we'll see what the officials discuss. White hat with the call for this officiating crew as the referee. It was 4th and 2. He got down inside the 10 for about a 7 or 8 yard gain. Both fouls on Layton Christian. So defensive holding. Unnecessary roughness as well. So that'll move Milford down near the goal line, right down to the 2-yard line is where they're going to put it with those 2 penalties. One was a live ball, one was a dead ball, so both penalties are assessed, and that's why they get down to the 2-yard line.
Yep, Milford's in a great opportunity to take an early lead right here, but it's tough for a passing team to score in this part of the field. Hardy's
in that quarterback now with Sosi out. Takes a snap, does Hardy. Going to keep it himself on the option. Now he does pass it out. Ball got knocked down, and they're going to call it incomplete as it ends up being a forward pass. He was looking for Drayton Blackburn.
Yeah, Layton Christian had great coverage on the edge right there. Had Bo Hardy covered up, and they had the pitch guy covered.
So 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line for Milford. 9:53 to go here in quarter number 1. No score in this 1A semifinal game, but Milford knocking on the door, trying to take the early lead. Sosi is back in now at quarterback. They've got Sadler Barnes to the left, 3 receivers to the right. Hardy to the right of Sosi in the backfield. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff, looking at it for the end zone, knocked out of the air. Good job on the defensive line for LCA to bat that one away.
Yeah, great play by number 11, Elijah Ellis, for the Eagles, because Trey Rose was open in the back corner of the end zone.
Iverson Report helping out with that one. Pass falls incomplete, so 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line now for the Tigers. And you can see the size advantage that Layton Christian has on that defensive line. That's the reason it's tough just to say, all right, let's just pound it up the middle 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, they've stacked it 6 deep, too, across the front line.
Going to send a man in motion. That's Barnes. Sosi takes a snap, pitches it to Hardy. Pressure coming, and down he goes as he gets brought down for a loss of about 5 yards. Again, it's Luther Ellis' son, Elijah Ellis, with a tackle.
4th down coming up for the Tigers, and I believe Montoya is coming into the game.
So they are going to go for the field goal attempt at this point. Coach Marshall said he told his team when we're kicking a PAT or a field goal, all of you huddle together where he wants the grass cleared and start kicking ice off of it. So they get the job done there. Holder will be Trey Rose.
Just don't bring a towel in and wipe the spot, right?
That's right. They've got 6 seconds on the play clock. Down to 2. Snap is off. Hold is down. Kick is up. Short kick, and it is good. Just got it through. So with 9 minutes to go in quarter number 1 of this 1A semifinal game, it's Milford 3, Layton Christian 0 on TMive.live and ETV.
At Central Valley Medical Center, we're committed to offering the best care.
In your life's first moments.
Through your life's biggest emergencies.
In your everyday help.
In those days that mean the most.
Central Valley Medical Center will be there with you through each step and stage of life, bringing the best care because we care, closer to home.
Live high school sports action on Centricom, Channel 10, ETV, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
We're back here at SUU's Eccles Coliseum as Milford strikes first. They put together a nice drive as they end up going 63 yards and capping it off with a 24-yard field goal by Montoya as they get the early 3-0 lead in this game.
You know, it's good Milford got points, but it's definitely a win for Layton Christian. The position they was put in, Milford 1st and goal at the 2, and Layton Christian to stop them all 3 times. So I'm going to give the advantage to Layton Christian right there on coming up with a nice stop.
Now they're set to kick it away are the Milford Tigers. There's the approach. Kick is up. Going to be a short kick. It'll bounce at about the 14-yard line and roll right into the hands of the return man. Has a big hole to run through up the middle as he gets across the 30-yard line. The football came loose. Milford says they have it. As Tagidugu brought that one across, the White Hat says that they did end up recovering it. Tagidugu on the return, but the fumble was recovered. Well, it says number 18. We don't have a number 18 on our roster, but they do get the football back, does the LCA Eagles.
Yep. Bryson Ackland put the hit on him. that popped the football loose, and as I watched the replay, it looked like it may have been caused by the ground. I don't know if the officials had it called that way, but it looked like
I wonder if that's what they're discussing. They're going to leave it at the 35, though, which is where it ended up being. So they'll leave it there.
And the ball kicked to the side. It didn't really kick forward or backwards. It kicked kind of to the side. So I think either way they've got it spotted right.
Ribeiro at quarterback. Two receivers left, one to the right. They're going to hand to Jaitis Moala off the left side. Ran into his own lineman. Has to spin out of it, and he'll get brought down after a gain of 6 yards after the 41-yard line.
Yeah, Morgan Finicum had a chance to tackle that play for a no gain for the Tigers, but he hit him too high. Coach Marshall talked about you got to hit these guys low. You've got to get lower and use leverage because that running back 6'1", 230, I mean, he's not just going to fall down if you push him.
They're going to give him to the 42, so 2nd down and 3 now for the Eagles. One receiver left, 2 to the right. And Ribeiro will be under center. They've got the back about 8 yards off the ball. Ribeiro takes a snap. Hands it off to Jaitis Moala at the left side. Found some room, jumps over a couple of defenders, and has a first down across the 45 to the 47-yard line.
Yeah, and right now Milford's got their linebackers a little bit too deep from where I would have them trying to protect this run. You're still going to get to the play, but you're going to give up 5 or 6 yards before you get there by being that deep. So,
make it a 6-yard run out of the 48, 1st and 10 for Layton Christian. One receiver to the left. They bring 2 to the right. Johnson is wide right with Sadler Barnes in coverage. Ribeiro under center. Takes a snap. Gives the handoff to Jaitis Moala again. Big hole up the middle to run through. Breaks through a couple of arm tackles. Off to the left side, and he'll be brought down into Milford territory as he gets down near the 30-yard line.
Yeah, we've seen the explosiveness of Moala right there. He hit that hole, and there was really nobody in it. The Layton Christian tight end got down to Quade Thompson, and he didn't even have to block him. He just stood in the way and sprung Moala.
20-yard gain down to the Milford 32-yard line. 2 receivers to the left, 1 wide right. I believe they brought Vaitaki in now at running back. Ribeiro takes a snap, and he's going to give it off to that right side, and he'll be brought down after a short gain across the 30-yard line. Manu Vaitaki with the run.
Yeah, Quade Thompson there on the stop for the Tigers that time, and you can just see the difference of the speed variety that Vaitaki has compared to Moala, and that time the Tigers was able to get there a little quicker, but he still got almost 4 yards.
2nd down and 7 now, under 7 minutes to go here in quarter number 1. 3-0 Milford. The Layton Christian driving on their first possession of the game. 2 receivers to the right, 1 wide left. Wide left is Vea. Ribeiro under center. Vaitaki still in running back. They fake the pitch. Inside handoff coming to the near side. Got a block and lowers the shoulder as he runs into Sadler Barnes, and will be dropped after a gain of about 3 or 4 more yards on the carry for Layton Christian. That was Frederick Faw.
That great counter play right there. The Tigers defense keying on number 1 and number 2, Vaitaki and Moala, and they give it to the inside counter back this way.
6-yard gain for Faw. That makes it 3rd and 1 now for LCA. Go Johnson wide left. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. They've got Vaitaki as the tailback to the left of Ribeiro in the shotgun formation. Going to move Vaitaki to his right. 3rd and 1, high snap, able to pull it out of the air. Hand off to Vaitaki, has the first down and more as he hit the hole and gets down inside the 15-yard line.
Yeah, the Tigers are getting hands on him at the line of scrimmage, but he's just too strong to tackle like that. Judd Netto come in from his linebacker spot and hit him low and drug him down on that play.
So right at the 15 they put it. So 1st and 10 from the Milford 15-yard line for Layton Christian. 3-0 Milford leads in this game. They'll go 1 receiver wide left, twins to the right. They've got Jaitis Moala back in at running back. Again, he's going to be about 7 yards off the ball as Ribeiro goes under center.
Tigers giving a different look on defense.
Takes a snap. Handoff goes to Moala with a stiff arm, gets down near the 10-yard line before he's brought down after about a 4 or 5-yard gain.
Moala does a great job of being patient and waiting for that hole to develop right there. The Tigers had a couple guys standing ready. He made 1 cut back and was able to get upfield for a nice gain.
4 carries, 37 yards on this drive for Moala. 2nd down and 6 now for the Eagles. That time Milford had 8 in the box defensively as they go 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Chachis Moala still in a tailback to the left of Ribeiro in the shotgun formation. Still going to leave 8 in the box, or 7 in the box this time for Milford. Motion man goes, high snap, and able to catch that one was Ribeiro. He sprints out to the left side trying to find some space. A flag will fly. He's going to get brought down after maybe he got back to the line of scrimmage. Kessler Fields able to bring him down. Let's see what the flag is on the far side.
In the area of holding on Layton Christian, and that'll be huge for the Tigers to get him behind the chains.
And they are asking Coach Marshall what they want to do.
Yeah,
it would be 3rd and 6, maybe 7, or it would be 2nd and about 16.
Yeah, you're going to want to hopefully moves them back right here. I mean, Moala's averaging 8 yards a carry right here, so 2nd down, push them back to 2nd and 16. It might force Layton Christian into thinking about throwing a pass on this drive, but you never know.
Yeah. Takes them back to the, well, and that's a spot foul, so it actually takes them back to the 22-yard line. It's the 11 yards they went back on that one, so it's 2nd down and 17. Johnson, the one to look for here. They've got him as the inside receiver on the right side. Blackburn covering him. Nobody wide left. Ribeiro under center. Takes a snap. He is going to give the handoff to Chachis Moala, and he gets tripped up down inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line for about a 7 or 8 yard gain to make it 3rd and about 8.
Yeah, it's just hard because, like I said, he's averaging 8 yards a carry, so he did get them yards back, but it still's got him in a 3rd and 9 situation, and he's going to come off the field for a minute.
So 3rd and 9 for Layton Christian. We'll see what they view, if they view this as a 4-down territory. Vaitaki in at running back now for the Eagles. They'll go Johnson as the inside receiver on the right. Wing back to the left. Vaitaki about 7 yards off the ball. Ribeiro under center. Takes a snap. Gives the handoff to Vaitaki coming to the right side. Broke through a couple of tackles. Lowers the shoulder inside the 5 as he gets a 1st down and more for the Eagles of Layton Christian.
Yeah, great job for Layton Christian being able to run that football and pick up the 1st down. Coach Stowers hasn't gone away from what he wanted to do, and that's establish the run game and get it developed, and they're doing a great job.
So 1st and goal from the 4-yard line now for Layton Christian. After the 10-yard run by Manu Vaitaki. 2 receivers to the right, wing to the left. Vaitaki staying in at running back. Ribeiro under center. Takes the snap. Pressure coming this time. He's able to get the handoff to Vaitaki, and he's going to be dropped for a loss of a yard back to the 5. Great pressure that time by the Milford defense.
Yeah, great job by Morgan Finicum shooting through there and getting early contact. Vaitaki, he's a big bruising back. They've got him listed as 6 foot. They don't have a weight here, but he's bigger than Moala, so he's hard to bring down, and Finicum was able to do a great job.
2 receivers to the right. Vaitaki still on a tailback, the wing back to the left, Ribeiro under center. 2nd and goal from the 5, takes a snap. Gives the handoff again, and he's dropped for a loss of yards again as the Milford gets pressure and bring him down at this 6, maybe 7-yard line.
Yep. Loss of 2 on the play, and Bryson Ackland shot in from defensive end unblocked, and they've gone to a 5-man front, but they've got their defensive end on one side shifted out so far, so he looks like a linebacker, and Layton Christian's having a hard time picking up blocking assignments when the Tigers shift to that defense.
They bring in Chachis Moala back in at running back. 3rd and goal from the 7 now for Layton Christian. 2 receivers to the right. Johnson's the inside receiver, wing back to the left. Ribeiro will be under center as he talks to his offense. Takes the snap. Handoff to Chachis Moala. Has a hole on the outside. Gets wrapped up from behind as he couldn't bounce out there, and he'll be brought down to the 5 for a gain of 3. 4th and goal from the 5 for Layton Christian.
Yeah, and decision time for Coach Stowers here. I believe they're going to go for it. I believe he thinks he has a superior offense compared to Milford's defense, and how huge would it be if Milford gets a stop right here?
Yeah, that's the Coach Marshall trying to get his crowd into it on the far side of the field. 4th and goal from the 5-yard line for Layton Christian. 2 receivers again to the right. Chachis Moala standing at about the 12-yard line, 7 yards deep in the backfield. Ribeiro under center. Motion man takes a snap.
Jet sweep.
Going to give on the motion and nowhere to go as he's dropped for a loss of 3.
And there's Tesler Fields. He hasn't made a big play all game, but that was probably the biggest one so far, able to stop that jet sweep from getting around the edge.
And the Milford crowd on their feet after they get the first big defensive stop of the game. A loss of 3 on the play, back to the 8-yard line to turn it over on downs.
The Tigers defense did a great job of staying home, doing their assignments and playing assignment football right there at the end of that drive. Bend, don't break, right?
That's right. So Milford will start on their own 8 with 53 seconds to go in the first quarter. Sosi takes a snap, gives the handoff to Blackburn, trying to get to the far side of the field on the jet sweep, and he's going to go out of bounds after about a 3-yard gain.
We have a flag down in the backfield.
Let's see what the call is here. I believe it's the umpire that made that one. He's talking to the white hat about what the penalty will be. It's going to be a 4, maybe 5-yard gain if it stands. It's going to be an illegal shift, though, against Milford. So that will bring them back half the distance to the goal, back to the 4-yard line. First penalty of the game on the Tigers. And that puts them up against their own end zone.
A tough spot to be against the defensive front of Layton Christian right here.
47 seconds to go in the first quarter. Trips right, one receiver to the left for the Tigers. Sosi about a yard deep in the end zone. Shotgun formation with Hardy to his right. Takes a snap, drops the pass, looking to his right, throws, and looking for Rose, and it's going to be intercepted. Johnson with the interception, takes it to the house. Touchdown, Layton Christian.
That's just a tough break for the Tigers as Trey was trying to fight through 2 guys, and the guy that was covering him had a hold of his jersey, but the official, I don't know how they didn't see that. You could see it on the replay, but sometimes you get them and sometimes you don't, right?
So Layton Christian, after getting stopped on 4th down, they come through with the pick 6. Malik Johnson, one of the state leaders in interceptions this year, gets another one. Tacks on 6 points with it.
And one thing about, your playmakers, they make plays, and Johnson's been making them plays for Layton Christian all year. And very, very good job by Layton Christian to get some momentum back in this game.
Paulino on to kick the extra point. Snap is good. Hold is down. The kick is up, and it is good. So with 40 seconds to go in the first quarter, it is Layton Christian 7, Milford 3 in the 1A semifinals on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and ETV.
Since 1947, Barney Trucking has built a reputation of unparalleled customer service and satisfaction in the trucking industry. Barney Trucking is now hiring drivers statewide, including Beaver, Millard, Sevier, San Pete, Juab, Carbon, Emery, Utah, and Salt Lake counties, as well as many other locations. The job includes a home daily schedule, excellent pay, benefits, training, retirement, a positive work environment, and requires a Class A CDL license with doubles endorsement. To apply, go to barneyjobs.com. That's barneyjobs.com.
Live high school sports action on Centricom, Channel 10, ETV, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
And we're back here at SUU's Eccles Coliseum as we get ready for the ensuing kickoff by Davi Paulino for Layton Christian after they got the pick 6 to take the 7-3 lead in this first 1A semifinal game of the day. We'll have Kanab Enterprise coming up next here from Cedar City. Paulino gets the word from the officials. He's good to kick it away. Hardy stands at his own 5-yard line for Milford. Running approach from Paulino. Kick is up. Deep kick. And Hardy's going to let that one go into the end zone. So Milford will have the football on their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, and that drive on that play on the pick 6, the first drive, Layton Christian single covered Trey Rose the whole drive and Trey was able to make some plays and make some catches, and I think that's what they was banking on that time, but they just slipped into that double 2 coverage and put Johnson over top of him, which I expected that's what they would do to start the game, was put their best DB over top of Trey Rose, but when they finally did it, it paid off for them.
2 backs in the backfield. Pistol formation for Kilo Sosi. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Now they're going to send Sosi out. Hardy takes the direct snap, and he's going to give the handoff to Blackburn. Hitting the backfield, able to spin out of the would-be tackle, and he might have gained a yard as he got forced out of bounds just across the line of scrimmage.
Great fight by Drayton Blackburn, but Bo Hardy, he had the lane. He probably should have kept that because they was keying Drayton. There was nobody in front of Bo. He had 5 or 10 yards in front of him.
And actually going to be a loss of yards, as they say he stepped out of bounds at about the 18, so a loss of 1, maybe 2 yards. 2 yards on the carry for Blackburn. 31 seconds to go in the quarter. Sosi now takes a snap, drops the pass, looking to his right. Short pass route underneath, caught by, is that Rose that made the catch? Yes, it is, for a short gain of about 4 yards out to the 22.
Number 11, Ellis, was on the coverage on Rose right there. And seems like anytime Rose is on the inside, he's covering him. If he's on the outside, Johnson's over top of him.
Hard count, and Layton Christian does go across, so it'll move him up 5 yards. Again, in high school, in the upper levels of football, you can go in but then come back out in the neutral zone. But in high school, you cannot. You don't have that option to come back out. Once you enter the neutral zone, it will be a penalty. So mark it forward 5 yards. Out of the 27, make it 3rd and 3.
Very favorable for Milford right here to get a short completion.
That's going to be how the quarter comes to an end as time has run off the clock. So through 1 quarter of play here in this 1A semifinal game, it is number 1, Layton Christian 7, number 4, Milford 3 on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and ETV.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPSC's 2 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
Live high school sports action on Centricom, Channel 10, ETV, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Welcome back here to the Coliseum on the campus of Southern Utah University, the Eccles Coliseum. They did a good job of scraping off the T-Bird and the WAC logos, but other than that, you can't see much on the field today. Just to know, you can see the lines as they try to scrape those off, but it's ice-covered field, snow and ice-covered field here at Southern Utah University this morning.
Yeah, I got here at about 8:45. I seen Mr. Oglesby. He had a snow shovel in his hand up till about 2 minutes till kickoff, working on getting what he could removed.
Start of the second quarter, Layton Christian leads 7-3 over Milford, and it will be 3rd and 3 for the Tigers at their own 27-yard line coming out of the quarter break. Sosi will be in the shotgun formation. Receivers bunched to each side in a double twin set. Hardy to his right in the backfield. Blackburn goes in motion right to left. Takes the snap, does Sosi. Looking to his left. Now comes back to his right. Looking for Hardy down the sideline. He's got him open. And he dropped it. Hardy had it and could not hold on as he turned to look to see where his feet were, and he fell through his arms. 4th down for Milford.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell where you're at on the field because of the snow. You don't know where the boundaries are.
Yeah, the boundary's white. Yeah. It's a big white boundary, but when the rest of the field's white too, it makes it tough.
Looking at the replay right there, Bo took a peek at the safety coming over right as the ball got there.
So 4th down and 3 for the Tigers. Punt team comes out for Milford. And back to receive are the Layton Christian Eagles. Good snap. Plenty of time. High punt. And they're just going to let that one drop. It does take a little bit of a Milford roll, but it'll give Layton Christian great field position as Eli Tagidugu let that one drop. They'll take it over at the 43-yard line for Layton Christian. Great field position.
Yeah, one thing about this offensive drive for Layton Christian and the defensive drive side of the ball for Milford is if Layton Christian's able to put another drive together like they did last time, even though they only got 3 points out of it, it does take a toll on your defensive front for the Tigers and puts them in a bad position for the rest of the game. So hopefully Milford can get a couple stops early instead of late in the drive.
Yeah, they started their last drive with 8:52 to go in the quarter, and Milford got it back with 53 seconds. So it was an 8-minute drive for Layton Christian. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Jaichus Moala in at tailback. Ribeiro's going to give it to him as he goes up the middle, breaks through a few tackles before being brought down right across midfield, down to the 48-yard line to make it 2nd and short.
The Tigers' defense just spread out too much in the middle. That's where Layton Christian's wanting to run. They're not running off tackle and around the edges, and Milford's giving them a free shot at running right up the middle.
2nd and a yard now for the Tigers. Johnson will go wide right with Tagidugu, the inside receiver. 1 receiver to the left. I believe that's Montgomery for the Eagles. Jaichus Moala to the left of Ribeiro, and a flag will fly on the near side.
There's got to be a flag on Layton Christian.
Maybe a sideline warning. Well, they're going to mark it off. Oh, they called it on the
left tackle was lined up offsides.
Yep. So moving back 5 yards. Back into their own side of the 50 to the 47.
I thought they had to snap it before they could throw that flag, but maybe I'm not aware of.
Yeah, because they let receivers move back and forth based off of what the official says, right?
Yep.
2 to the right, 1 to the left. Ribeiro takes a snap, gives to Jajaswala again up the middle, broke through 1 tackle before being brought down across the 50, back to the 48. So he got those 5 yards back, and now it's 3rd and 1.
Yeah, and a chance for the Tigers to get a stop right here, and like I said, just the same inside trap play with the pulling guard, and they're just keeping everything up the middle. And Milford's defensive line are lined up outside of where their defensive tackle lined up outside of where Layton Christian's trying to run.
So it's 3rd and a yard here for Layton Christian. They brought Vaitaki in at running back. He's to the right of Ribeiro in the backfield. Takes a snap. He's going to give to Vaitaki. Hit and brought down. Looks like he's going to just get enough. The near side official has him right down near that 47-yard line. It's going to be very close.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. The far side official's not really standing on the spot, but they're going to measure it. I think he's going to be short, but Layton Christian averaging 8 yards a carry before this drive. I think it's going to be a no question for Coach Stowers to go for it right here.
Riker Barnes with the tackle there for Milford. Did a great job.
What number was it?
I thought it was 53. Or maybe it was Tesler Field again.
It was 60. It was Tesler Fields and Bryson Acklin, I think, come from the side. Yeah, Barnes is just a freshman, I believe, that don't play.
As they bring out the chain crew.
It's going to be close, but they're going to be
Looks
about
like
6
he's going to
inches.
be short. So it'll be 4th and short for Layton Christian. I'm sure Coach Stowers is saying we're going to go for it.
Yeah, I don't think it's even a question for him as far as if he's going to go for it. But how big of a momentum shift would it be if Milford gets a stop right here?
They're just shy of the 47-yard line, which is what they need to get a first down. So Layton Christian going to run for it here. Fourth and about 6 inches for the Eagles. They lead at 7-3 in this 1A semifinal. 10:09 to go in the first half. They've got Vaitaki at running back. Ribeiro, shotgun formation. Takes a snap. The give to Vaitaki, and he's going to get the first down and more as he gets down to the 45-yard line to pick up the yardage they need.
Well, it's just a tough play design and hard to defend. The read option play right there with the running back, like either one of the running backs that Layton Christian has, it's hard for you to stop them in them short yardage situations.
So 1st and 10 from the Milford 45-yard line. Johnson's wide left by himself with Colton Barnes in coverage. 2 receivers to the right. Ribeiro under center. Jajaswala, the running back. They're going to give to him and gets hit in the backfield and got tripped up just enough as Fields brought him down after a gain of just a yard.
Yeah, great job by Tesler Fields getting a hold of his shoes and not letting him get no further.
9 carries for 62 yards in the game for Jajaswala. And up to 86 rushing yards so far in this one are the Layton Christian Eagles. 2nd and 9. Montgomery wide right, Johnson and Tagidugu to the left. Ribeiro under center, Jajaswala 7 yards off the ball. They're going to send Tagidugu in motion left to right. Ribeiro takes a snap. Going to give to Jajaswala. Made a man miss as he bounces to the outside, broke through another tackle, and gets wrapped up by Sadler Barnes just short of the first down, but a nice run by Moala to pick up about 8 yards.
Yeah, you know, if they could have stopped him for 2 or 3 yards and put him in a 3rd down situation of 5 or 6, but he did a great job cutting back and finding a hole, and he's a great runner. I don't know. I would expect he's probably going to go run the football at the next level somewhere just from what I've seen so far. I mean, he's a very good and patient runner.
3rd and a yard now for the Eagles. 2 receivers to the left, 1 wide right. They brought in Vaitaki at running back. Ribeiro, shotgun formation. Takes a snap. The give to Vaitaki just lowers the shoulder up the middle, and he's going to pick up 2 yards for the first down to the 29-yard line. Or the 34-yard line, excuse me.
Yeah, Quade Thompson was there, but just a full head of steam for the big running back Vaitaki and just able to push his way forward. And that Layton Christian front line is controlling the Tigers' defensive line on this possession.
So 1st and 10 from the Milford 34-yard line. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Vaitaki still in running back for the Eagles. Ribeiro, shotgun formation, about 6 yards deep. Milford showing pressure. They drop out of it. Hand off to Vaitaki up the middle. Jumps up, and he'll be brought down after about a 5 or 6 yard gain inside the 30-yard line.
Milford's shifted into a 3-man defensive front, and I don't think it's to their advantage. They're just giving free rein to the linemen of Layton Christian to get to their linebackers, and you want your linebackers able to make plays.
9 carries for 29 yards now for Vaitaki. It's 2nd down and 4 after the 6-yard gain to the 28-yard line. Again, no passes thrown yet by Layton Christian. Ribeiro goes under center. Takes the snap. Going to give to Jaitis Mwala off the left side, and he'll pick up a 1st down as he gets inside the 25-yard line for about a 4-yard gain and enough for a 1st down.
Quade Thompson and Bryson Ackland on the tackle for the Tigers right there. I'd like to see the Tigers tighten up their defense a little bit early and not let Layton Christian get down inside the 5-yard line again, because it's tough to stop them 2 backs from getting them short yards.
6:42 to go in the first half. 7-3 Layton Christian leads, and they're driving, nearing the Milford 20-yard line. 1st and 10 from Milford 23. Ribeiro shotgun formation. Jaitis Mwala to his left. Takes a snap. The give to Mwala, hitting the backfield, and down he goes as he ran right into the pressure brought by Milford for a loss of a yard back to the 24.
Yeah, Bryson Ackland and Quade Thompson shot through the gap right there early, and now they've got Layton Christians behind the chains on 2nd down. Milford's defense has been known since Coach Toohey's been the D coordinator to play bend, don't break, but sometimes when you play that kind of defense and then you match up against a team like Layton Christian, it's hard not to break.
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. 2nd and just about to 10.5, 11 yards. Ribeiro in the shotgun formation. Vaitaki at running back to his left in the backfield. Takes a snap. Fakes the handoff. First passing play of the game. They're going to throw underneath to Johnson, and it's underthrown as Ribeiro took a hit on the play, and it falls incomplete.
Judd Netto with the pressure for the Tigers from outside linebacker spot. And every time the Tigers have brought pressure off the edge, either side, Layton Christian's had a hard time figuring it out and picking it up.
So 3rd down and about 11 yards. 5:42
How many,
to go here.
how many rushes total, how many carries have they had so far to
20
one pass?
21 to 1.
21 to 1.
No, 23 to 1, excuse me.
23 to 1, all right.
3rd and 11. Ribeiro under center, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Vaitaki running back, takes a snap. Gives to Vaitaki in the backfield, and he's going to be brought down. Ball came loose, but they've whistled it dead. Is that Finicum that made the tackle on that one, or Ackland? Bryson Ackland again making the play.
He made the tackle and was going for the scoop and score.
There is a flag right in the middle of the play. If the play stands, it's going to be no gain, so it got back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. And Milford looks like he's going to decline whatever the penalty is.
Yeah, going to bring up 4th down.
So again, Milford declines, so 4th and 11 after no gain on that one. Don't know how long this drive has been. Considering it started at the 43-yard line, this is play number 14.
Got to be about getting up on 6 or 7 minutes clockwise too, yeah?
6 minutes, right? 6.5 right now. So 4th and 11 here for Layton Christian. We'll see if they go to the air or if they give it to Vaitaki. Jaitis Mwala not on the field, so Vaitaki's the running back.
I'd watch for a screen play right here. Milford, I think Milford needs to bring some pressure from.
They get the snap off, but there was definitely some confusion, and Coach Stowers is screaming for a timeout. Let's see what there was a flag thrown on the far side of the field. I think that's going to be on Milford's sideline, as Coach Marshall was in the ear of the far sideline judge. So there is going to be a timeout. They did get the timeout off. They clearly weren't ready to snap the ball, and Ribeiro alertly saw the play clock winding down. As you can see the clock in the end zone, and hurried and snapped it. But Coach Stowers is able to get the timeout called first.
I don't think they can call a sideline warning. If they're going to give Layton Christian the timeout, I don't know if they can give the sideline warning to Milford.
Now, it depends on what was said.
Yeah.
Whitehat over talking to Coach Marshall. They're going to wave off the flag, though.
Yeah.
So they will wave off the flag, so it'll be 4th and 11 for Layton Christian as they use their first timeout of the half.
Where I was going with that is a sideline warning.
Kick a field goal.
Ooh.
So it'll be a 41-yard attempt for Paulino on 4th and 11. His PAT was a short PAT. See if he's got the distance here on this one. Milford crowd getting into it. Snap is good. Hold is down. The kick is up and
wide right.
Just short. It had it was right in the middle, but it fell just shy of the crossbar as it misses. And so Milford will take over on their own 20-yard line.
And there's just barely a slight breeze blowing in from the north, and he was kicking into it. Could have been enough to hold it up. He has put both of his kickoffs to the 3-yard line, on both possessions. So I don't think the leg is an issue, but just a little bit of a slight breeze right there knocked that ball down.
So Milford takes over on their own 20 with 4:55 to go in the first half, trailing 7-3 in this 1A semifinal game against top-seeded Layton Christian. Number 2 Enterprise and number 3 Kanab coming up next. Kilo Sosi in the shotgun formation. Inside handoff comes as Blackburn has nowhere to go. Ellis is there to bring him down in a hurry for Layton Christian.
Yeah, great job by number 7. Number 7 shows Bailiff on
Matthew Bailiff
on the roster.
Yes, Matthew Bailiff. He's the leading tackler.
You threw me a curveball for a second.
4-yard loss for Blackburn. Now pass out of the backfield to Blackburn, and he cannot hold on as he gets hit as the ball got there, so the pass falls incomplete.
Yeah, Layton Christian's done a great job of adjusting their pass coverage. The Tigers have gone a little bit more pass-heavy here. They've almost given up on the run. They're not even trying to run the football, and Layton Christian's fell into a 3-man front as well, So
3rd down and 14 for the Tigers. Clock stopped on that play, so 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. Sosi looking to his left, just going to throw it deep for the sideline. He's got Barnes, and it falls incomplete as Malik Johnson, the safety over the top, was there to break it up, and Ellis was there with him.
Yeah, the ball just kind of floated at the end a little bit on Sosi. If he'd have got a little bit more of a bullet on it, I think Colton would have had a better chance of catching it, but they was able to get Johnson over top and break it up. I believe it was Johnson, wasn't it?
Yeah, Johnson came over the top. Elijah Ellis was with him in coverage. So 4th and 14 now for the Tigers as the punt team comes out. They've got Tagi Dugu standing just inside the 50-yard line on Milford's side of the 50. 4:24 to go in the first half, so still plenty of time for Layton Christian. Kick is away. It's going to take a Milford roll across the 50, and Tagi Dugu will let it go as it bounces down to the 44, 45-yard line where Layton Christian will take over.
Yeah, same spot they started the last drive. The Tigers were able to get a stop, and this is more crucial because Layton Christian can take that 4 minutes off the clock in a hurry, and they also get the ball after halftime, so you definitely don't want to give up any points right here.
Start on their own 45-yard line. Their last drive, they started on the 43. They ended up picking up 33 yards, and it took them 7 minutes to do so before missing the 41-yard field goal on 14 plays. 1st and 10 here. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Jaichus Mwala, the running back. Ribeiro will hand it to him in the backfield. It made a man miss as he got a block in. He's going to get out to the 50-yard line for a 5-yard gain.
And I said it earlier, the Tigers are doing a great job at getting initial contact on him, but it's just not good enough for the type of runner that he is.
Ackland hit him,
yep,
but unable to bring him down.
And you're talking about a no gain or a gain of 5 right there,
Yeah, big difference. So 2nd and 5 for the Eagles. 3:45 to go in the half. Ribeiro under center, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Takes a snap. The give to Judges. He just fakes it. Throws the pass down the field for Johnson. Off his hands. He got a step ahead of Barnes, but could not hold on. And Ribeiro took a shot on the play as well, as he is slow to get up. A help to his feet by the official and his teammates.
Yeah, great job by the Tigers getting pressure in there, as Finicum was able to hit him right as he let the ball go. But he threw up perfect, and that pass should have been caught. Johnson just couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, I think that's not one you see Johnson drop very often. That's where the conditions may be playing a factor. Cold ball, cold hands. It's 3rd and 5 for Layton Christian. 3:35 to go in the first half. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ribeiro under center. Jaichus Moala as the running back. 4-man front for Milford. Takes a snap. The give to Moala, gets hit, and he will be brought down after a gain of 2, maybe the forward movement to the 3, but they're just going to give him to the 2 to the 48-yard line.
So a big 4th down right here for Coach Stowers and his offense. The momentum play would be to go for it and pick up a 1st down, but if you don't get it right here, that momentum shifts in a hurry back to Milford's side.
4th and 3. 3:10 to go in the first half. Just across midfield are the Layton Christian Eagles, leading Milford 7-3. 2 receivers to the right. Johnson's the wideout. 1 receiver to the left. That's Montgomery. Vaitaki in at running back. 7 yards off the ball. Ribeiro under center. Takes a snap. Dropped it. The ball's on the ground. He pitches it out to Vaitaki. Able to get it to him, but he won't pick up the 1st down. Going to be no gain on the play as he dropped the ball on the snap. Able to pick it up and pitch it out. And Vaitaki could not get there, but Ribeiro is slow to get up. Now he is going to be helped to his feet by Bryson Ackland from Milford, and looks like he will walk off. Yeah, but Milford will take over.
He got hit right as he pitched that ball pretty hard by Finicum, and, you know, Milford's lucky that that broken play didn't turn into a touchdown, because Vaitaki only had to make one guy miss right there, and there was nobody. Milford's defense sold out.
Milford will take over on their own 48-yard line with 2:48 to go in the first half.
Judd Netto was on the tackle for the Tigers right there. Might have been Blackburn. I'm not sure. I think it was Netto.
I think it was Netto. 1st and 10 from the 48. Sosi in the shotgun formation. Hardy to his left. Trips right. 1 receiver to the left. 3-man front for Layton Christian. Sosi looks to the sideline as Coach Marshall calls him the play. Sosi talks to his offensive line. 1st and 10. Going to send Blackburn in motion right to left. Takes a snap, fake there, give to Hardy. Hardy up the middle and gets wrapped up from behind, but not until he picks up 5 or 6 yards on the carry into Layton Christian territory.
Yeah, first big run by Bo Hardy, and I said it last drive. Layton Christian, Milford went away from the run, and Layton Christian give up defending it. I think Milford can go to them run plays up the middle right here and open up their passing game.
2:25 to go in the first half. Sosi drops into the shotgun with Hardy to his left. 2nd and 4. Looks to pass, looking to his left, comes across the middle, has a man open, and Colton Barnes has it go right through his hands as he could not hold on.
Yeah, great play design. Colton Barnes, Layton Christian dropping into a little zone coverage defense, and Sosi made the right read. He also had Trey Rose open going on the out route, but Colton's got to come up with that catch.
So 3rd and 4, empty backfield. Trips left, 2 receivers to the right. Sosi in the shotgun. Rose is to the left, Hardy's to the right. 3rd and 4. Sosi takes a snap. Quick pass to the left and underthrown. Blackburn tried to go to the turf to make the catch but could not haul it in as it falls incomplete.
Yeah, and I don't know if Sosi was expecting him to stop at the sticks and catch that football, or that's kind of how he threw the ball, but Blackburn kept running and it ended up low.
So it'll be 4th and 4 for the Tigers, and Ackland comes on to kick it away. Tagidugu will be back inside the 20, down about the 15-yard line is where he'll be. 2:13 to go, only 35 seconds run off the clock on that possession. Ackland gets it away, and there is going to be a penalty as he goes down, got hit on the play, and Milford will touch it down inside the 20, but there is going to be a penalty on it.
Yeah, and either way, it's going to give Milford a 1st down, whether it's a roughing or a running.
It is the running into the kicker, but it's 5 yards, enough for a Milford 1st down to keep the drive going.
You know, and we'll watch on the replay, and the ice could have been in a factor here, if not. not being able to stop. It's hard, and that's one of the factors of playing on the field in these kind of conditions is it could cause that penalty right there.
7th penalty of the game on the Eagles. Just one on Milford so far. So Milford's drive continues. 2:05 to go in the first half. Down 7-3 to Layton Christian. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Pistol formation for Sosi with 2 backs in the backfield. Going to send Sosi out. Hardy takes a snap, pitches it out to Blackburn. Blackburn trying to get the edge, has some room, got a block from Rose, and he'll go out of bounds after about a 4 or 5 yard gain.
The defense of Layton Christian is fast. I mean, we know how fast the Milford players are, and Layton Christian are closing out on them and not giving them any room to run.
They're going to put it at the 37-yard line for a 4-yard gain for Blackburn. Second and 6. Under 2 minutes. Sosi takes a snap, rolls to his right. Pressure coming, got some good blocking, throwing downfield for Rose. It's underthrown and knocked away. Rose had to play defensive back as Elijah Ellis was in great position to try to pick that one off.
Yeah, Layton Christian's done a very good job of covering Rose over the top on them deep routes. One thing that Milford will find is Rose is getting open underneath on the short routes. As soon as they give him a chance to double cover him over the top, he's not open, but he is getting open on the short routes, so they need to look at him for some of those plays underneath.
3rd and 6. Hardy to the left of Sosi in the backfield. Shotgun formation. Trips right. 1 receiver to the left. That is Rose wide left. They're going to move Hardy to the right of Sosi. 5-man front as they show pressure. They bring it. They give to Hardy. Hardy just got tripped up. He had room to run. He's going to be short of the first down, but probably 4-down territory here for Coach Marshall with under a minute and a half to go in the first.
Yeah, they should run the play clock down right here. Take a timeout and start over. Don't leave Layton Christian any time. Oh, and Layton Christian's going to do the smart thing right here. They're going to take it right now. I was just going to say that, but Layton Christian's put together some 6-7 minute drives and their passing has not been efficient. They had the one drop pass that would have most likely went for a touchdown, but other than that, Milford's done a pretty good job containing that. So
a timeout called by Layton Christian, their second timeout. So they have 1 timeout left if they are able to get the turnover on downs here and try to move the ball down the field with 1:34 to go in the first half in this 1A semifinal game. And you talked about it, that Milford kind of went away from the run. They only ran the ball 4 times on that first drive, but they were able to run it effectively enough that it opened up some of those short yardage passing situations for them. And since then, their offense has really struggled. In fact, this is their best drive since that opening drive.
Yep, and that's, one thing about this offense is it has to be balanced, and the pass game helps the run game, and the run game helps the pass game in this design. But right here, I've got trips left, and I'm going to run a speed option to the right play with Sosi and Hardy to pick up my first down right here. But we'll see what Coach Marshall comes out of the huddle with.
So far, just 57 yards of offense in this first half for the Tigers, a team that averages over 400 per game. 1 receiver wide left, that's Rose. Sosi will be in the shotgun. Now he's going to come under center. 3 receivers to the right. Hard count. Layton Christian doesn't jump. Down to 12 seconds on the play clock. Sosi calls out the new play as he drops back into the shotgun with Hardy to his left. Down to 5 seconds. Takes a snap, looking to his left. Now comes back to his right. Throws the underneath route, and it's going to be incomplete. It was a little bit short for Blackburn, and he could not hold on. Good coverage as well downfield by Layton Christian's Braden Bott.
Yeah, great job by Layton Christian. They were on that play. Good speed design, but you're throwing that ball from the left hash to the right sideline. That's a tough throw. You don't see college quarterbacks making that throw very effective, unless they're top NFL prospects.
So Layton Christian takes over on their own 33 with a minute and a half to go in the first half, leading 7-3. Their only points have come by defense. A pick 6 is all Layton Christian scored. They were able to drive it down inside the 5 before Milford stopped them on a turnover on downs inside the 10-yard line. Now they're going to go 2 receivers to the right. Milford in a prevent defense. They're going to give it to Jaijaswala, trying to get the edge on the near side. Flag's going to come in as he gets forced out of bounds after a run to the 45-yard line. But it's likely the likely area of a hold here.
Yeah, but I don't like Milford falling back and protecting against the pass right here. As explosive as Miola is, he can pick up some ground in a hurry. I wouldn't give up on Layton Christian trying to run the football.
Now the flag was thrown about 6 yards downfield. So it'll be about 4 or 5 yards that gets marked off from the original line of scrimmage and take away what would have been a 12 or 11-yard run for a first down. They're going to spot at the 27-yard line. So 1st and 16 for Layton Christian. 2 receivers to the right. They'll be tight left. Chitra in the backfield. Ribeiro gives to him. Hole on the left side. Has some room to run. Breaks through an arm tackle out to midfield. And stays on his feet before being brought down at the Milford 35-yard line. A big run from Owala.
You know, I just talked about it, but, I mean, you just can't give up on the run in that situation and expect they're going to pass. They've ran the ball 35 times and only thrown it twice. 2 attempts on the passes. Yeah. I mean, they don't have to pass the football to gain yards in a hurry.
A 37-yard run. High snap. Ribeiro able to catch it with the one hand. He gets hit as he throws it. The pass falls incomplete, and he takes another shot on the play. Every time he has dropped back, Milford has made him pay for it as that one falls incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and it's that one was borderline a roughing the passer call on the Tigers, and that's a mistake that Milford doesn't want to make right here. So you got to make sure you let your players know that, you know, don't put us in a bad position by making a penalty, because that pass didn't have a prayer once it left his hand anyways.
42 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd down and 10 at the Milford 36-yard line for Layton Christian. 2 receivers to the right. Johnson's the inside receiver. They've got a wing back to the left. That'll be Bailiff. Ribeiro takes a snap, drops the pass, got a block by Vaitaki, looking to his left, throwing downfield for Johnson, and incomplete, just off his hands. Trey Rose was there in coverage, was able to get pressure on Johnson as the ball got there.
Great job by Trey. 3 versus 3, and Trey won that battle.
So 3rd and 10 now for the Eagles. That took off 9 seconds, 33 seconds to go in the first half.
They rolled Ribeiro out of the pocket that time and gave him some more time. Milford brought pressure up the middle, so that may be something Layton Christian wants to look at going forward if they're going to pass the ball a little more, is rolling him outside that pocket.
They're changing their formation here a little bit, trying to get on the same page. Now they get set, and they're going to throw the flag. Yeah, they don't have enough on the line of scrimmage as Ribeiro dropped back to pass. He's looking downfield. There's kind of some confusion because people kept playing and some didn't. It's going to be a screen pass to Tagidugu. He's going to have a first down and more, but again, a flag on the play as he gets down inside the 10, down near the 5-yard line. But the both line judges threw flags early on that one. I believe this one's going to come back and be a 5-yard loss in the penalty.
Yep, they didn't have enough guys on the line of scrimmage to start the play. They tried to run a flea flicker and get fancy.
Both line judges coming out to talk to the white hat. And there was just confusion before the play happened, and there was only 3 seconds left in the play clock, so they hurried and got it off. But I think Johnson was intending to line up on the line of scrimmage and was a yard off. And that's the problem. So the penalty negates the big play and makes it now 3rd down and 15 from the 41-yard line.
Well, and that play ran off 12 seconds, I think, didn't it?
Yeah.
So you don't
15 seconds.
15 seconds. So you don't get that time back, on a penalty. So that was huge. They could have 1st and goal down inside the 5.
3rd and 15. Receiver wide right is Johnson all by himself. 2 to the left. Vaitaki in at running back. Shotgun formation for Ribeiro. Takes a snap, drops the pass. Here comes the pressure, throws the underneath route to Johnson, makes the catch, and Sadler Barnes just holds on for dear life. And 4 more Tigers pile on. It's going to be a gain of about 9 with now just 7 seconds on the clock. Layton Christian is calling their final timeout with 2 seconds on the clock.
Did he wait till 2 seconds to call that timeout?
I think so, because you saw him throw a number before he gave the timeout signal.
Okay.
I think he wanted to just make it so there was only going to be for sure one more play.
One more play, 4th down. Smart move by Coach Stowers. His linemen were standing at the middle of the field, jumping up and down, wanting him to call that timeout with 7 seconds left. So
yeah.
I was just curious on if they'd called it and the clock didn't stop or what had happened. But
so it'll be a 4th down and about 6 for the Eagles, but that's irrelevant with just 2 seconds on the clock here in the first half. The last kick attempt was a 41-yarder and it was short. This will be 49-yarder, so definitely expecting them to take a shot at the end zone or maybe run a draw with Moala and see if he can get out in space.
That's what's dangerous, and Milford fell back into a prevent defense right there too, and allowed a short completion to Johnson. And if Sadler Barnes don't grab him by a leg, I mean, he's got a big gain on that play right there as well.
Yeah, good job by Sadler Barnes just to hold on for dear life at that point. Wait for his teammates to help come clean it up. Johnson is wide right. He's the one to watch out for. He's been targeted every time. 3 receivers are to the left. Montgomery wide left. Tagi Dugu is inside as a tight end. Ribeiro shotgun formation. Takes a snap. 5-step drop. Pressure coming. Hit as he throws. The ball is flying in the air, and it will be incomplete. And that will be how the first half comes to an end as Layton Christian leads Milford in the first 1A semifinal game of the day. 7-3 is your score at the break. We'll take a short break and come back with your first half stats next here from the SUU's Eccles Coliseum. Again, on the campus of Southern Utah University here in this 1A semifinal game on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and ETV.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. On our website, you're not going to wade through a bunch of unrelated content. You bring up TeamHive.live and you're just going to find a lot of high school sports and events. We've created tools that make it super easy for you to create events and stream to our site. And if you ever need help with anything, you can give me a call. So I want to invite your school to join the team. If you're a Utah high school, you can stream live on TeamHive. That's TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom.
I'm Dr. Sorensen. I'm a board-certified pediatrician, and I'm the newest addition to the team of doctors here at Central Valley Medical Center. My goal is to work closely with you when making decisions about your child's health. After all, you know them better than anyone else.
I think as a mom, it can be really overwhelming to find a doctor who's a really good fit for your family. I look for someone who I can trust. It's so validating and comforting knowing that I can call and get the answers I need from Dr. Sorensen and his staff.
I look forward to meeting you and your child and bringing you the best care closer to home.
I thought there was only one way to do college. I knew I needed training to set me up for a great career, but I didn't have 4 years. Snow helped me discover that college doesn't have to be about sitting in classes, counting down the hours. They showed me a way to get the edge I needed, and fast. The best part was with their low-cost programs and tuition assistance, I didn't have to go into debt. I was able to earn my certificate and start working right away. Snow College. This is college.
The playoffs are here, and as always, Mid-Utah Radio and TeamHive.live are partnering with KSL Sports to bring you every second of the action, all leading up to the championship games at Greater Zion Stadium. Bookmark TeamHive.live to watch the latest of playoff action. Follow TeamHive.live on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter to stay up to date and catch all the playoff action on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom.
Rocky Mountain Turf Farm prides themselves on being family-owned and operated for 45 years. They offer locally grown Kentucky bluegrass with multiple varieties available, WaterStar certified options included. Sod is cut and delivered daily with install options available from residential to commercial. They even guarantee their grass sod to be disease-free, weed-free, alive, and growing. For more info and to see different options available, visit RockyMTNTurf.com. That's RockyMTNTurf.com.
Zions Bank proudly supports our local communities and schools. We've been providing families and businesses with banking tools and stellar service for nearly 150 years. For helping you achieve your financial goals, Zions Bank is for you.
The living room. It's a great place to watch TV. Just like your backyard, break time at the office, or while on the go. Now you can watch TV everywhere. Call or visit Centricom.com to learn more.
Live high school sports action on Centricom, Channel 10, ETV, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
We're back here at Southern Utah University's Eccles Coliseum in the 1A semifinals, Game 1. It is number 1, Layton Christian 7, number 4, Milford 3 in a battle so far here in this one. And Tyler, your takeaway from this first half?
You know, it was a good first half of football. Milford had to play perfect, and they have to continue to play perfect as far from a penalty standpoint and how they did. Now, they didn't play a perfect game, but they didn't make mistakes that really hurt them, and that's how they're going to be able to stay in this game and compete with Layton Christian, is not make mistakes. Now, Layton Christian, on the other hand, they did make some mistakes. They had 9 penalties. How many yards, I don't know, but you probably got that down somewhere. But that's not how the Layton Christian can get the job done here in this football game, by making that many mistakes. So we'd look for them to clean that up.
Yeah, penalty yards I have for them 54. 9 penalties for 54 yards, just 1 for 4 yards for Milford in this first half. So that gives you an idea of what that's looked like so far. And let's look at those first half stats. We appreciate Brett James. He's here with us this weekend, providing stats for all of these semifinal games. 8-player yesterday, 1A and 2A today, and 3A games tomorrow. And let's look at the team stats so far. First off, the total yards in this first half for Layton Christian, 164. For Milford, just 55 yards of total offense. Milford got the bulk of those on the first drive of the game. Since then, they've really struggled to move the football.
Yeah, and Layton Christian did a great job running the football, controlling the clock. One thing I did notice is Layton Christian, their offensive defensive line, they're not switching out a lot of guys there. So I know Milford has at least 3 or 4 different guys that they run in on both offensive and defensive lines. So I think that's helped Milford be able to stay fresh. Layton Christian hasn't shown any sign of fatigue, other than it could have caused some of them penalties because they were getting tired, and then big guys up front aren't getting a break.
Yeah, that could be. Then you look at the drives that have led to this. Again, I said Milford got most of their yardage in that first drive of the game. For Layton Christian, their first 2 drives is where most of their yards came from, as they did not get a ton of yards on their last 2 drives. In fact, a turnover on downs after just 4 plays on the next one, and then this one that ended the half, that they did get 1 big play on before getting stopped there at the half. So neither team has really consistently driven the football. Layton Christian more so than Milford, but neither team has really shown that they can drive the football every time they want to. Let's look at the individual other yards in this one. For Milford, of their 55 yards, 44 of those yards are passing, just 11 rushing yards. And obviously the complete opposite for the Eagles, as they have 155 rushing yards and just 9 yards passing in this first half. Individually for the players in this game, for Milford, Bill Hardy, 5 carries for 7 yards. Kilo Sosi, 1 for 5 yards. And Drayton Blackburn, 3 carries for -1 yard here in this first half. Passing-wise, Sosi is 4 of 16 passing for 44 yards, and he did throw the 1 pick six, the only points of the game so far for Layton Christian. Trey Rose has 3 catches for 36 yards. Colton Barnes has 1 catch for 8 yards in this first half for the Tigers. For the Eagles, Josiah Jaichus Mawala, 16 carries for 122 yards in this first half. Manu Vaitaki has 10 carries for just 19 yards in the first half. Jose Ribeiro, 1 for 10 yards. Frederick Fa has 1 for 6 yards. And Max Montgomery has 1 carry for -2 yards in this first half for the Layton Christian Eagles. And then passing-wise, Ribeiro is just 1 of 6 passing for 9 yards here in this first half. And that 1 pass was just a short dump-off route on 4th and long, and on 3rd and long, that was basically the first half came to an end. Malik Johnson does have that 1 catch for 9 yards. For the Eagles, again, for the Tigers, Alex Montoya has their only points as he kicked a field goal after their first drive. A 24-yard field goal attempt was good for Alex Montoya to get the Tigers on the board. And then it's Malik Johnson that has the pick 6 defensively for Layton Christian for their points.
Yeah, and one thing about the passing game for Layton Christian is they've got to do, if they're going to pass the football, they have got to do a better job of protecting Ribeiro, because he has taken a shot. Every time he's dropped back to pass, he's taken a shot. Hasn't translated into a sack yet, but the Tigers are putting pressure. And, one thing about Milford is there was a couple of them plays that could have been close. I'm sure Layton Christian told the officials to watch it because it was that close, and you don't want to get a roughing the passer penalty right there on them plays.
So, again, there's your first half stats, and a look at how this first half has gone here between these two teams. It's been a great semifinal so far, and the conditions of the field are definitely playing a factor so far in this one. You can see both teams running a little bit gingerly, trying to make sure they keep their footing, so we're not seeing some of the explosiveness out of either team. Both teams have the ability to show that. And so that's been a factor. And then I think cold hands on some of those passes cold hands and a cold football have been a big factor as well, with the 2 drops by Layton Christian and a couple of drops by Milford.
Yeah, Milford had 2 key drops. Bo Hardy dropped one up the sideline, and then Colton Barnes dropped one on a short post route that most likely would have translated into a touchdown on Colton's. Bo had safety coming from over the top, but Layton Christian's strength, they're not going to come out here, and they're not going to come out and pass the ball 15 times here in the second half. I mean, we'll be lucky if we see 5 passes unless Milford takes a lead and they get behind. But they've got to keep running the football. They're averaging, I would assume, 6 to 10 yards per carry. They've got a great 2-man running monster, and it's going to be hard to slow down. Now, can the offensive line for Layton Christian, can they keep their stamina and be able to move the football like they did them drives? A lot of people don't think, but in high school, 1A high school football, a long drive takes just as much out of your offense as it does your defense, because you're in 1A football, you've got at least probably 9 guys playing both ways of the football on both teams.
Yeah, it's a good point, bringing that up. And so we'll see how it goes going in this second half. We're about 4 minutes away from half number 2 getting underway here at the Echoes Coliseum on the campus of Southern Utah University in this 1A semifinal. Coming up later today, the 1 o'clock kickoff game will be the second 1A semifinal. That'll be number 2 Enterprise, undefeated on the season at 11-0, going up against number 3 Kanab. Kanab lost to Layton Christian in this semifinal game last year, and they're back here again this season. And so that will be at 1 o'clock. Kanab 9-2 on the year coming into this game here today. And then up to 4 o'clock, we'll have our first 2A semifinal game as we have number 4 Beaver and number 1 South Summit. They also met in the semis last year with Beaver coming out on top. South Summit's undefeated, though, coming into this semifinal game today. And then the final game of the day at 7 o'clock tonight here at the Coliseum will be number 2 San Juan, the defending state champs. And they're also undefeated so far on the year. They will go up against number 3 Emory. Again, that's at 7 o'clock here tonight from the Coliseum on the campus of Southern Utah University. We'll take a quick break and come back and get you ready for the second half. That's next here in the 1A semifinals with number 1 Layton Christian leading number 4 Milford 7-3 on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and ETV.
This school year will be different.
This year, I'll do my assignments on time.
I will listen to my teacher.
I solemnly swear.
I won't eat any glue.
I'll do my homework every night.
Every night.
Research? No problem. School? I got this.
This year will be different. Visit Centricom.com to power your education with the best internet experience. Everyone succeeds with School to the Power of Centricom.
At Central Valley Medical Center, we're committed to offering the best care.
In your life's first moments.
Through your life's biggest emergencies.
In your everyday help.
In those days that mean the most.
Central Valley Medical Center will be there with you through each step and stage of life, bringing the best care because we care. Closer to home.
Since 1947, Barney Trucking has built a reputation of unparalleled customer service and satisfaction in the trucking industry. Barney Trucking is now hiring drivers statewide, including Beaver, Millard, Sevier, San Pete, Juab, Carbon, Emory, Utah, and Salt Lake counties, as well as many other locations. The job includes a home daily schedule, excellent pay, benefits, training, retirement, a positive work environment, and requires a Class A CDL license with doubles endorsement. To apply, go to BarneyJobs.com. That's BarneyJobs.com. The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPSC's two 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. On our website, you're not going to wade through a bunch of unrelated content. You bring up TeamHive.live and you're just going to find a lot of high school sports and events. We've created tools that make it super easy for you to create events and stream to our site. And if you ever need help with anything, you can give me a call. So I want to invite your school to join the team. If you're a Utah high school, you can stream live on TeamHive. That's TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom.
Live high school sports action on Centricom, Channel 10, ETV, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
We're back here at the Eccles Coliseum on the campus of Southern Utah University. Second half action just about to get underway in this 1A semifinal. Number 1, Layton Christian leading number 4, Milford 7-3. After a tight first half, as Milford put a 24-yard field goal on the board on their opening drive. Layton Christian has not scored any points offensively. It was a pick six that put Layton Christian on the board here in this first half. So now we go to half number 2, and Layton Christian will receive the kickoff from the Milford Tigers. So again, any keys to the second half, Tyler?
Well, for Milford, I mean they've got to get stop on this drive. 14-3. That's a bad looking score to come back from, and they haven't had a lot of success moving the ball on offense, but they've been very close of getting some rhythm established, and fortunate for them, their defense has played good enough to keep them in the football game. A lot of bend don't break, gave up 2 long drives, and Layton Christian didn't get any points out of either one of those. So you've got to feel good about it if you're Milford. If you're Layton Christian, you've got to just come out and run the football. Do what you did the first half, and hopefully it translates into points for you on offense.
Montoya set to kick it away. Tagadugu and Johnson back to receive for Layton Christian. It will go towards Johnson. He takes it at the 16-yard line, brings it out across the 20, trying to find some room to the outside of the 25, and he'll be forced out of bounds at about the 27-yard line.
Great kick team coverage by the Tigers as Ackland and Colton Barnes were there to keep Johnson wrapped up. I don't know if I would have kicked that football to Johnson being one of their top playmakers right there.
They're going to have the ball at the 27-yard line for their opening drive of the second half. This is actually their worst field position of the game.
Yeah, and it's going to see where the Tigers are at fatigue-wise. I'd like to see him stay in that 4-man front a little bit more here to stop that run, but it did work for him as far as keeping him off the scoreboard in the first half.
Ribeiro under center, Jaichus Moala at running back. They're going to give it to him and just pack the offensive line as he brings it out across the 30 to the 34-yard line for a nice gain from Moala.
Yeah, great job by Moala finding a little crease in that offensive line, and he's a very good cutback runner. He can see that hole develop, and he hits it with authority.
So 2nd down and 3 now for the Eagles. Johnson is wide right. They've been consistently having 3 receivers. Now they're just putting everybody but Johnson on the line of scrimmage are the Eagles. Ribeiro under center, takes the snap, going to give to Jaichus Moala again, trying to get to the outside, gets a block, and a stiff arm before he steps out of bounds near midfield to the 49-yard line for a first down and 15 more.
Yeah, so that's the first time they've really ran off tackle and outside of tackle, and the Tigers defense, they just weren't ready for it. They're not in a great position to stop the run right here.
1st and 10 from the 49-yard line now for Layton Christian. Johnson goes wide left.
And you can see what Layton's Christian plan is. They're putting 10 guys on the line of scrimmage up front, and they want to run the football.
Vaitaki in at running back now. He goes to the right side, and he'll be brought down after about a 4-yard gain into Milford territory to the 47-yard line. 12 carries for 33 yards now for Vaitaki. 2nd down and 6. Yeah, definitely showing like they're going to try to get it outside more this time, this half. They run Johnson wide right, Ribeiro under center. Vaitaki still running back. Milford showing pressure. They bring it. Vaitaki able to avoid it, and he's going to get brought down, though, after a no gain as he just got back to the line of scrimmage. Was it Ackland that got back there? But good job by Vaitaki to avoid the rush.
Ackland was there on the pressure early, but even so, they still got a positive yards out of it, and that's concerning on the Tigers' behalf because you made a great play, but Layton Christian still moved the ball forward.
So 3rd and 6 from the 47-yard line. Johnson wide right. Jaitra Smala back in at running back. Ribeiro under center. Takes a snap. He's going to give to Moala. Tries to get to the outside. Now cuts back as he got a hole. And he'll be tripped up by, I believe, Kessler Fields, but not until he gets another big first down inside the 35-yard line.
Yeah, just an outside zone play, off tackle for Layton Christian. You can see their scoop blocks, and with the cutback ability that Moala has, it's hard to defend.
Puts him over 150 yards on the game. 1st and 10 at the Milford 34-yard line. Johnson wide right. Ribeiro will be under center. The give to Jaitra Smala. Actually, that's not going to be Tagidugu in there as he jumps ahead inside the 25-yard line. Looks like he has enough for a first down to the 23. Eli Tagidugu with his first carry.
See the inside lineman, the center, and the 2 guards for Layton Christian. I mean, they're just getting unbelievable push on that inside offensive line and the defensive line of the Tigers.
So 1st and 10. They're going to leave Tagidugu in there as the tailback. 8 yards off the ball. Ribeiro under center. Takes a snap. The give to Tagidugu. Jumps over a would-be tackler and then runs into Quade Thompson after a gain of a yard down to the 22.
When the Tigers shifted into a 5-man front that time, and every time they've gone to a 5-man front or a 4-man front and brought an extra guy, it's caused confusion for Layton Christian.
So 2nd down and 9 as they run Vaitaki back in at running back. 8:50 to go in the 3rd quarter. 7-3, Layton Christian leads Milford in this 1A semifinal. Ribeiro under center. Takes a snap. They are going to call the false start as that left guard moved early. So that'll move him back to the 27. Their 10th penalty of the game.
It's going to put about 2nd and 13 or 14.
Yeah, 2nd and 14. At the 27 as they need to get down to the 13. 8:35 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 7-3 Layton Christian looking for their first offensive points of the game. Vaitaki in at running back. Ribeiro under center. 4-man front for Milford. They're going to give to Vaitaki. Hit, and he will be brought down as Quade Thompson drags him down after a gain of about a half a yard, maybe a yard.
So that's what I talked about on the fatigue factor. Layton Christian's offensive line after this drive, they've shown a little bit of fatigue right there. That lineman did not get to block Quade on his inside release, and Quade was able to make the tackle.
So a short gain for Vaitaki makes it now 3rd and about 13 and a half for the Eagles. They'll go Johnson wide left. Staying with that tight formation. Bailiff to the right, Patello to the left. Ribeiro under center, Jaitra Smala in at running back, and a flag going to go against Milford as I think Ackland came early. Oh no, did he?
False start.
False start, he did. I saw Ackland come across that line and thought he must have went early, but it's a false start against Layton Christian. That takes him back to the 31-yard line. They haven't had big penalties that have been a lot of yardage. They've had a lot of 5 yards or half the distance of the goal penalties. And so their yardage on penalties doesn't look like a ton, but that's the 11th penalty of the game for 63 yards now.
Yeah, now they're in a position to where they're probably going to have to throw a pass on at least one of these downs, and I bet this is the down they do it on.
3rd and 18, just a quick underneath passing route. That's going to be caught by Montgomery as he gets down to the 24-yard line for a 7-yard gain.
So you're still in a position, if you're Milford, you still have to respect the run right here, especially if number 2's in the ball game, because you're definitely not out of his range of picking up a 12-yard play and picking up a first down.
They're going to bring on Paulino, though, to have another field goal attempt, it looks like. They're at the 24, so it'll be a 41-yard attempt, which is the exact length he missed last time. So a 41-yard field goal attempt here for Paulino. 10 seconds on the play clock as he backs out.
The wind is not blowing on this kick.
Snap is good. Hold is down. Kick is up, and that one's going to be wide right as it is a miss. So the Milford defense stands up after Layton Christian put together a solid opening drive. No points will be scored, and Milford takes over on their own 20 with 6:29 to go here in the third quarter.
See, I'm just not convinced that that's the right play call if you're Layton Christian on either one of them. You're not packing a collegiate or a professional kicker, and you've got an offense that's just been terrorizing Milford's defense.
So seeing the shotgun, a quick pitch out to Hardy. The turf's starting to melt a little bit, and so Hardy tries to find some room on the outside edge, and he'll be stopped as he got to the line of scrimmage. So no gain on the carry.
Yeah, Layton Christian's done a very good job of bottling them edges up. I think they knew that coming in that's where Milford was going to look at, go after them, and they prepared for it well.
2nd and 10. Left to right comes Blackburn. Sosi takes a snap, fakes the handoff to Hardy, looking to pass, throws back for Hardy. He's got it open off his hands. He could not haul it in as it falls incomplete.
Yeah, second drop for Bo, and that would have been a tough catch to make, but you always say if it hits you in the hands, you should bring it in.
So 3rd and 10 now for the Tigers.
And Sosi probably had to throw that ball a little bit sooner than he wanted to.
Yeah.
Had some pressure coming.
2 receivers to each side. Hardy to the left of Sosi in the backfield. Shotgun formation. Takes a snap, looking to his right, looking up the middle. Now tucks it, looks to run as he got tripped up and brought down as he went to the ground at the 16 for a loss of 4 and a sack for the Layton Christian defense.
Yeah, and I think they're going to give number 1 a credit for the sack right there. But
Vitaki and Iverson report were the 2 there.
I'm not sure if either one of them really hit Sosi. I think he just kind of stumbled as he went down. But either way, that's a 3 and out for Milford, and now you're giving the ball back to Layton Christian after only taking about a minute and a half off the clock.
Snap is good. Ackland with the punt. High punt to the far sideline. And it's going to bounce inside Milford territory. So Layton Christian will get their best field position of the day after that punt, as they will start at about the Milford 45-yard line. But there is a penalty on the play as well. It was downfield, so nothing to do with the kick itself.
Could have been a defensive holding right there. Maybe Layton Christian held up one of Milford guys and didn't let him get downfield.
A block in the back on the return team. So it'll take them back from the end of the kick and put them into their own territory as a result. And so they will still have the football, though, with 5:14 to go here in the third quarter, leading 7-3. It'll take them back to their own 45.
Help the Tigers out a little bit right there as far from a field position standpoint. And I guess you eventually get to the point to how many times do you ask your defense to bail you out, because the Tigers offense is doing absolutely nothing the last 2 or 3 drives.
Going to go with a lot of guys in the line again. Under center is Ribeiro, takes the snap. The give to Jaichus Mawala, tries to find some space, broke through an arm tackle, got a block downfield by Bailiff. Down the near sideline he goes, and touchdown Layton Christian as Jaichus Mawala takes it to the house with a 55-yard score.
Yep, and you knew it was just only a matter of time before he broke off a run like that. He's had some big gains, and really the Tigers only had one man right there that he had to beat, and Trey come unblocked, but he didn't take outside leverage on him, and Mawala was able to get the big run out of it.
His first touchdown of the day. Again, first offensive score for Layton Christian as they go up now 13-3 with the PAT pending here for Davi Paulino. Holder is Johnson. Snap is good. Hold is down. The kick is up, and it is good. So with now 5:03 to go in the third quarter in this 1A semifinal, it's number 1 Layton Christian 14, number 4 Milford 3 on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and ETV.
I'm Dr. Sorensen. I'm a board-certified pediatrician, and I'm the newest addition to the team of doctors here at Central Valley Medical Center. My goal is to work closely with you when making decisions about your child's health. After all, you know them better than anyone else.
I think as a mom, it can be really overwhelming to find a doctor who's a really good fit for your family. I look for someone who I can trust. It's so validating and comforting knowing that I can call and get the answers I need from Dr. Sorensen and his staff.
I look forward to meeting you and your child and bringing you the best care closer to home.
Live high school sports action on Centricom, Channel 10, ETV, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Back here at SU's Eccles Coliseum, Paulino on to kick it away now for Layton Christian as they have taken a 14-3 lead over Milford in this 1A semifinal game. Back to receive is Bo Hardy for the Tigers. Again, the turf starting to melt the snow, so we'll see if that allows both these teams. We saw Moala able to get, I think, better footing and as a result be a little more explosive on that last play, and we'll see if Milford's able to do the same thing. Kick is away by Paulino. Deep kick. Hardy is going to let that one just go into the end zone about 2 yards deep. So Milford will take over on their own 20-yard line with 5:03 to go in the third quarter, down 14-3 in what is now a crucial offensive drive for the Tigers.
Yeah, you know, they've gone 3 and out 3 of their last 4 drives. The other one was a turnover on downs where they did gain some yards, but their offense hasn't helped their defense out, and eventually a team like Layton Christian, they're going to explode for something, and they just did on that last drive. So let's see if the Tigers can answer back.
So Milford on their own 20. Sosi in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers in tight to each side. Hardy to the left. They're going to send Blackburn in motion. Fake the handoff there. Drop the pass to Sosi. Steps up, gets hit, and he will be dropped as they bring him down for another sack for the defense. I believe Zoran Patello's in there on the tackle for the Eagles.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's their first real sack of the game that they've got pressure to Sosi and was able to bring him down.
Loss of 4 to the 16, so second down and 16 now for the Tigers. Rose is wide right. Double twin set. Hardy to the right of Sosi. Blackburn goes in motion right to left. Takes the snap. Drops back to pass. Here's the screen. They're looking for Hardy and could not get it to him as the defense had stayed back. I think that was Iverson report. Had stayed back to make it so they could not get it to Hardy as it falls incomplete.
Yeah, Layton Christian's two D linemen. Actually, it was a linebacker and a D lineman went after Sosi and 2 stayed home. So great defense on the screen right there.
3rd and 16. Trips left. 1 receiver to the right. As he looks to the sideline to Coach Marshall.
Got double coverage on Rose over here.
Sosi takes a snap. He's looking for Rose. Just going to throw it deep down the sideline. Jump ball, and it'll be incomplete. As Rose and Ellis went up for it, and it falls incomplete. That'll make it 4th down, and the punt team comes on again for the Tigers.
Yeah, another 3 and out and negative yards on offense. I don't know if that was a play call that came in specifically designed for Trey, but as soon as I seen the double coverage over there, you've got to go a different route because they only had 2 guys covering the 3 receivers on the other side with an outside linebacker help. So
Acklin on to kick it away. Tagidugu back at the 50-yard line for Layton Christian. Good snap. Kick is away. Spiraling kick this time. I'll let that one bounce right at the 50-yard line, and it's going to go to the 49 is where it'll be touchdown. So Layton Christian taking over at midfield after another 3 and out by Milford. 4 of their last 5 drives have been a 3 and outs.
Yeah, and you just give Layton Christian a chance right here to build a bigger lead, and you didn't run any time off the clock. So, I mean, the clock is still your friend, but Milford's got to put something together offensively because Layton Christian, they can smell blood right now.
Yeah. 14-3, Layton Christian leads and a chance to add to it as they take over at midfield. Johnson will be wide left, and they're just sticking with that 8 guys on the offensive line. And Ribeiro under center, Jaichus Wall in running back. They're going to give it to him. On the counter, the left side is going to be brought down after a gain of 3 to the 47.
Yeah, and after that touchdown, it almost lit a little bit more life in Moala. He ran harder on that play right there than he ran since the start of the game.
Well, I think the playing conditions are becoming better to get better footing. You feel like you can cut a little easier, and as a result, allowing them to be a little more explosive. Vaitaki and running back now for Jaichus Moala as he leaves the game. Johnson will be wide right. Takes a snap, handoff to Vaitaki as he tries to find some room, and the offensive line was 3 yards downfield before Vaitaki even got the football as he's going to pick up 5 yards.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of driving the defensive linemen of Milford back, and it's creating chaos for Milford's linebackers. They're not able to come up and make plays until they've gained 4 or 5 yards.
So it makes it 3rd and 2 now for the Eagles. Johnson wide right. Vaitaki still in at running back. Ribeiro under center. Takes the snap. The give to Vaitaki. And he's going to bring it out across the 40-yard line down to the 38 for a first down.
Yeah, and Milford's waiting until they get in short yardage situations to fall down into a 5-man defensive front. And I just feel like if they stayed there the whole time and give yourself a chance to force Layton Christian into having to pass the football.
2:45 to go in the third quarter. 14-3 Layton Christian. Johnson wide right. Ribeiro takes the snap. They're going to give to Tagidugu in at running back. He made a man miss, and then Colton Barnes will get the tackle after about an 8-yard gain.
Yeah, great run by Tagidugu, senior running back for Layton Christian. And one thing I have noticed is a lot of seniors on this team from Layton Christian, which means a lot of experience from that game last year coming back.
Yeah, they lost to Duchesne in the state championship last season. Now they're the number 1 seed, trying to get back there this season. Johnson wide right. Tagidugu still in at running back. Ribeiro under center. Takes the snap. The give to Tagidugu. Gets hit in the backfield, and he'll be brought down after a no gain at the 29-yard line. So 3rd and 1.
Maybe a loss of a half a yard right there, and the Tigers' defense definitely plugged that up. But Tagidugu is not the runner that Vaitaki and Moala are. He looks like more of a little speed back, but in a 3rd down and 1, they just ran their short yardage running back into the game, and he's going to be hard to stop right here for 1 yard.
Manu Vaitaki, running back. Ribeiro under center. 3rd and 1, takes the snap. The give to Vaitaki. Again, the offensive line gets a great push, and Vaitaki just kind of, at first contact, just fell forward to pick up the first down.
Yeah, and the Tigers hit him at a line of scrimmage, but he's just so big and hard to bring down that all he has to do is fall forward and pick up a first down.
3-yard gain, make it 1st and 10 from the Milford 26-yard line now for the Layton Christian Eagles. 1:05 to go in the third quarter, 14-3 Layton Christian. Johnson wide left. Ribeiro hands off to Vaitaki again, hitting the backfield, able to step out of it, and gets across the 25 down inside the 24 for a 2 or 3 yard gain.
And Ackland was just a half second late of being able to wrap him up, but he just was able to touch a shoestring and slow him down, but he still fell forward for 4.
So that makes it now 2nd down and 7. 28 seconds to go in the third quarter. One more play for Layton Christian before the likely end of the quarter. Johnson will be wide right. Vaitaki, the running back. Ribeiro under center. Takes a snap on 2nd and 7. The give to Vaitaki. Had a hole on the left side and runs through the defense. Going to be near that first down marker. Looks to be about just shy as he gets down near the 17-yard line.
Yeah, going to have a 3rd and 2 coming up, and that's going to end the quarter. But the Tigers have a tough task ahead of them right here.
So after 3 quarters of play in this 1A semifinal, it's number 1, Layton Christian 14, and number 4, Milford 3 on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and ETV.
I thought there was only one way to do college. I knew I needed training to set me up for a great career, but I didn't have 4 years. Snow helped me discover that college doesn't have to be about sitting in classes, counting down the hours. They showed me a way to get the edge I needed, and fast. The best part was with their low-cost programs and tuition assistance, I didn't have to go into debt. I was able to earn my certificate and start working right away. Snow College. This is college.
Live high school sports action on Centricom, Channel 10, ETV, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
To the fourth quarter we go in this 1A semifinal game. Robert Lovell with you alongside Tyler McMullen here on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and ETV. We've got a great crew here. These 3 days, yesterday's 8-player games, the 1A and 2A semifinals today, and the 3A semifinals tomorrow. We've got Joe Williams, Thompson Coles, Barrett Hilton, Tanner Wilkinson, Dylan Smith all back there. And some others that will be coming to help along the way over the next couple of days. But we've got a great crew to help bring you this coverage of these semifinals. 3rd and 1 to start the fourth quarter for Layton Christian at the Milford 17-yard line.
Layton Christian has not steered away from what has worked for him all game. I mean, I'm not even sure if they ran the same exact play all game other than they went off tackle twice.
They send Johnson in motion. They're going to hand it off to Jaitrus Moala as he bounces through inside the 15 down to the 10 for a first down. First and goal from the 10 now for Layton Christian with a 14-3 lead and knocking on the door for more.
You know, a good sign for Layton Christian. Moala didn't play for about 8 plays right there, and the other running backs got the job done, and now they bring him in. He's fresh, and he looked it on that carry.
So first and goal from the 10. Johnson to the right. Under center is Ribeiro. Takes a snap. The give to Jaitrus Moala again. Breaks through a few tackles and into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Layton Christian.
Yeah, and it's too bad because the score right now looks a lot worse than what the game really has been. You know, Milford's done a pretty good job of keeping Layton Christian contained, but you know, on the other hand, they've got a double-headed monster at running back and an offensive line, and they're tough to deal with.
That makes it 20-3 PAT pending here for the Eagles. Snap is good, hold is down, and the kick by Paulino is up, and it is good. So with 11:28 to go in the game, Layton Christian leads it 21-3 in this 1A semifinal game here on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and ETV.
The playoffs are here, and as always, Mid-Utah Radio and TeamHive.live are partnering with KSL Sports to bring you every second of the action, all leading up to the championship games at Greater Zion Stadium. Bookmark TeamHive.live to watch the latest of playoff action. Follow TeamHive.live on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter to stay up to date and catch all the playoff action on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom.
Live high school sports action on Centricom, Channel 10, ETV, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
We're back here at the Eccles Coliseum on the campus of Southern Utah University. Layton Christian with 2 second-half offensive touchdowns on 2 of their 3 drives, their last 2 drives, and that's put them up now 21-3 over Milford. Milford will have their 3rd drive of the game coming up after this kickoff by Davi Paulino for Layton Christian. Hardy back to receive, stands at his own 5-yard line for the Tigers. Officials are set, ready to go. Paulino with the running approach. Kick is away, and that one will also get in the end zone, about 3 yards deep in the end zone. So Milford will take over on their own 20 with 11:28 to go here in the 4th quarter in this 1A semifinal game.
Yeah, and Milford, I guess the first step they need to take is picking up a first down right here because they're not helping their defense out any. And another 3 and out right here, I mean, it just keeps the momentum in Layton Christian's favor so much that it will probably put the game out of reach.
Trips right, 1 receiver to the left for the Tigers. Hardy to the right of Sosi in the backfield, shotgun formation. Sosi takes a snap, fakes the pitch. Here comes the pressure with 2 guys on him, and he goes down. They didn't bite on the fake pitch, and Iverson report with the big sack for the LCA defense.
Yeah, and there was some confusion on the offensive line for Milford, but the coverage Layton Christian had, Sosi wouldn't have had anywhere to throw the football even if there wouldn't have been the pressure.
Trips right, 1 receiver to the left. Again, shotgun formation on 2nd and 20 after the 10-yard loss. Looking down the sideline for Colton Barnes and thrown behind him. It falls incomplete.
Just not a lot of consistency from the Tigers on offense this game. They looked good for a couple of spurts the first drive of the game, but they haven't been able to find that consistent offense that works.
In the second half, their offense has totaled minus 18 yards.
No.
So no positive yardage here in half number 2 for Milford. 2 receivers to each side. Sosi in the shotgun formation with Hardy to his left. Takes a snap, drops the pass. Looking to his right, throws to his right for Rose. Intercepted by Elijah Ellis. Ellis taking it back inside the 10, and he'll be brought down. But he's got first and goal for the Eagles.
Yeah, and just a little bit of Sosi. I mean, got a 3rd and long and trying to do too much and getting a little panic. And that's not going to be the answer for the Tigers.
So Layton Christian ready to add to their lead as they will start on the Milford 8-yard line after the interception by Ellis. the son of Utah great Luther Ellis. Ribeiro under center. Elijah Small in running back. They're going to give it to him. Made a man miss in the backfield. Gets wrapped up in the line of scrimmage and dropped after a gain of a yard down to the 7-yard line.
Yeah, one of the very few times that Milford has been able to bottle him up for less than 2 yards.
23 or 24 carries now in the game for Moala. He's going to come out as they bring Vaitaki in on 2nd and goal from the 7. Clock down to 10 minutes to go. Ribeiro under center, takes the snap. You're going to give it to Vaitaki at the left side. Had a big hole, a lot of flags coming in on the play as he runs into the end zone. It's a touchdown if it stands.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's probably in the area of holding.
And that's what it's going to be. So holding on Layton Christian. That will move them back to the 17-yard line and make it 2nd and goal. Well, let's see. That was 3 yards deep, so it'll take them back to the 20-yard line. And 2nd and goal from the 20.
Yeah, Quay Thompson was coming on a blitz, and the lineman just wrapped his hand around him and drug him straight to the ground.
So 2nd and goal from the 20 now for Layton Christian's offense. 9:50 to go here in the 4th quarter, leading 21-3 over Milford. Again, Milford put together 56 yards on their opening drive. They now have total yardage of about 37 for the game. Ribeiro takes a snap. Handoff left side to Vaitaki. He's trying to find some room, and he's going to get inside the 15 to the 14 for a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, and this heavy package for Layton Christian is really giving Milford problems. They're getting bodies on everybody on defense, and the running backs just have to pick where they want to run.
50 rushing plays in this game for Layton Christian compared to 7 pass plays. They do go Johnson wide right, Ribeiro under center. Jaijus Moala back in at running back. 3rd and goal from the 14. Takes a snap. The give to Moala, tries to find room on the right side. He'll be brought down after a 3-yard gain to the 11 to make it 4th and goal from the 11.
See if they go for a field goal here to make it a 3-touchdown game for Milford.
That's what they're going to do. So Paulino runs on for the field goal attempt. This will be about a 28-yard attempt. He's missed short and wide right on 2 41-yard attempts. This one, though, the ball's right in the middle, and it'll be a 28-yard attempt here for Davi Paulino. Johnson the holder. He got the snap off just in time. Hold is good. Kick is up, and it looks good. So with 8:13 to go in the game of this 1A semifinal, it's now number 1, Layton Christian 24, number 4, Milford 3 on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and ETV.
Rocky Mountain Turf Farm prides themselves on being family-owned and operated for 45 years. They offer locally grown Kentucky bluegrass with multiple varieties available, WaterStar certified options included. Sod is cut and delivered daily with install options available from residential to commercial. They even guarantee their grass sod to be disease-free, weed-free, alive, and growing. For more info and to see different options available, visit RockyMTNTurf.com. That's RockyMTNTurf.com.
Live high school sports action on Centricom, Channel 10, ETV, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Back here at the Eccles Coliseum on the campus of Southern Utah University, 1A semifinal football action. Winner moves on to next week's state championship. Number 1 seed Layton Christian leading number 4 Milford 24-3 after the 28-yard field goal by Davi Paulino. Now Paulino with the ensuing kickoff. Hardy at the goal line. Does take a step in the end zone, so they will kill it there, and Milford will take over on their own 20 with 8:13 to go in the game, down by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, Bo wanted a return on that one. You could tell if he wouldn't have jumped, if he'd have just stood there and caught it, he probably would have been able to return it. But when he jumped, he fell backwards a little bit and went into the end zone.
Milford looking for any answer they can find offensively, as they've had 3 drives for minus 18 yards in this second half. Hardy goes in motion. Sosi drops back, trying to pass on the screen at 2 Rose, knocked out of the air by Bailiff as it falls incomplete.
Yeah, and they caught Layton Christian with single coverage on Rose right there. But they was able to bat the pass down.
So 2nd and 10. Bring the receivers in tighter. Empty backfield for Sosi. He drops back to pass. Here comes the pressure, looking for Hardy down the right side, and a little bit underthrown as it falls incomplete. Montgomery with the coverage downfield for Layton Christian.
And just throwing the ball into double coverage, and Layton Christian has done a good job of making sure that Hardy and Rose are double covered every time they come out of the backfield.
So 3rd and 10 now for the Tigers. 2 receivers to each side, double twin set. Hardy to the right of Sosi in the backfield. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff, looking to his right, throwing deep for Blackburn, and the pass interference flag will come in as that one was clear. You saw the pull on the jersey as Blackburn got a step on the defender.
Yep, and it's a shame, too, because I don't think that Blackburn would have made that play even if there wasn't a little bit of a hold.
So we'll get the official word from the referee. Must not have lost his mic, but pass interference is called, so 1st down for the Tigers with the penalty. Take them out to the 35-yard line.
See if that'll give the Tigers a little bit of momentum that they've been desperately looking for here in the second half.
14th penalty on Layton Christian, so just 1 on Milford. Hand off to Hardy. Hardy made one man miss, makes another miss as he bounces to the outside and steps through an arm tackle before going out of bounds after a 1st down to the 46-yard line.
Yeah, good-looking run from Bo right there. Pick up 10. I think he had a 7-yard run earlier and a 10-yard run right there, and that's about all he's been able to do the whole game.
Yeah, 7 carries for 18 yards. Now they're going to give it to him again as he tries to get to the outside. He's going to gain a yard to the 47, it looks like. So that'll make it 2nd down and 9. His 8th carry of the game. It'll make it 2nd down and 9 with 7:41 to go here in the 4th quarter. Down 24-3 are the Milford Tigers. And for the first time this half, their offense is able to move the football. They want to add some time on the clock, maybe. Just get another look there at Bo Hardy trying to find some space on the outside.
I think they're going to put some time back on the clock.
Yeah, he must have lost his mic because we're not hearing him now. 7:41, so they added 9 seconds to the clock. Layton Christian crowd wanting him to get that clock running.
Yeah.
But he went out of bounds, so that's why the clock stopped. And that's what they were trying to get conveyed to the clock operator to get the clock stopped there. So they're going to leave it at 7:46 is where they're going to put. So they put 14 seconds on the clock. Sosi takes a snap, quick screen pass to Colton Barnes. He makes the catch, got some blocks, bounces to the outside as he gets into Layton Christian territory down to the 45-yard line. Going to be just shy of the 1st down.
Yeah, good play design. Colton able to bounce back to the outside as Layton Christian had heavy inside pursuit. And the blockers didn't quite get out there in time, but Colton did a good job of seeing that and getting to the edge.
So 3rd and 1 now for the Tigers as they, again, for the first time this half, get some yardage out of their offense. Sosi in the shotgun formation. 1 receiver to the left. Blackburn going to go in motion. Now goes under center. Takes a snap. Gets hit. The ball's loose. It's on the ground. And it's still loose. Hardy tries to pick it up and run. He will end up getting the football, but they lose 5 yards back to the 50-yard line.
Yeah, Layton Christian was ready for that play, and they seen it on film one too many times last week. Milford ran it against North Severe. They snuck Blackburn in to do that, and Layton Christian was ready for it.
They're going to go for it on 4th and 6. Sosi in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers stacked to each side. Takes a snap, drops the pass, looking to his left, comes across the middle on the slant route, knocked out of the air, and a flag going to come in. Another flag comes in with the helmet off the Layton Christian player.
Number 8 was able to knock, was it 8 that knocked it down or 13? I think it was 8.
That's Frederick Faw. We'll see what the penalty is here. If the play stands, it's a turnover on downs. White hat talking to the umpire. 2 flags came in on the play. 6:28 to go in this game. Layton Christian's in position to take over at midfield if the incomplete pass stands. Now the White Hat with the call. Personal foul, hands the face on Milford. That is declined. Personal foul on Layton Christian. He did the offsetting before he gave the second penalty. So I think he's just saying offsetting penalties. Layton Christian takes over.
Unless one of those was a dead ball foul, it should be replay of down, shouldn't it?
Yeah, that's a good point. So they'll take over the 50-yard line. Oh, no, they are going to mark that one off. So they declined the penalty. Now they will mark off the 15-yard, as you said there. So they were not offsetting. So that'll take them back to the 35-yard line for Layton Christian. With 6:28 to go in the game, leading 24-3 over Milford. The Eagles are well on their way to back-to-back trips to the state championship.
So Milford's penalty was
declined.
A dead ball?
No, it was live ball, and it was declined. So pass counted.
Layton Christian had to decline that penalty.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's why it was declined. Milford bringing pressure up the middle. The handoff goes to Jijus Mwala as he found a hole on the right side before being caught by Kessler Fields. Now a flag going to come in after the play. It's going to be a 5-yard gain. Going to be a 6-yard gain if the play stands.
Could be a face mask.
There's going to be a face mask on Milford. They're doing the 5-yard variety.
Makes the Layton Christian fans happy.
So 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line.
6:17 left to go. Layton Christian's run this much time off the clock on 90% of their drives today.
Ribeiro under center, takes the snap. The give to Mwala, the ball's on the ground as it was dropped on the handoff, and Ribeiro just falls on top of it back at the 34-yard line. So it's going to be a loss of 11 or 12 yards on the play.
There was confusion by Layton Christian on who was going to recover that fumble. Neither one of the players went to pick it up. They both thought the other one was going to get it. A scoop and a score right there could have helped Milford save their chances a little bit. So they've got to have a big play of some sorts of that to get back in this ball game.
2nd down and 21. Ribeiro under center. Takes the snap. Going to give it to Tagidugu in the backfield. He gets hit, able to break a few tackles as he got past 3 Tigers. Now gets to the edge before finally being dragged out of bounds after picking up about 10 yards on the run.
Yeah, little speed back around the edge for Layton Christian, and the weapons that they have. Add a number 22, Tayagadulu, in there for them. Really brings them a 3-headed monster.
So that makes it 3rd and 12 now for the Eagles. Clock down to 5:08 to go in the game, leading 24-3 in their semifinal. So they're looking forward to heading even further south next Friday for the state championship game. Johnson's wide left. They brought Baitaki in at running back. Ribeiro in the shotgun formation, takes a snap. He is going to drop back to pass. Here comes the pressure off the edge. He rolls to the right. More pressure coming. Throws, gets hit as he throws, and a diving catch. Trey Rose intercepts it for Milford as he lays out in the air and takes it away from the Tigers. Some extracurriculars happening after the play.
Great job by Mr. Criswell, the umpire, not to throw a flag right there. He could have thrown one on both players. Number 22 probably just made an ejectable offense, but the official was watching it and don't want to lose any players for next week.
Milford takes over on their 44-yard line with 4:59 to go in this semifinal, down 3 scores, 24-3. Double twin set. Shotgun formation for Sosi. They're going to send Blackburn in motion left to right. Fake the handoff there. Give to Hardy, and Hardy hit in the backfield. And he's going to lose a yard on the play.
Patello, the tackle for Layton Christian.
He was a quarterback last year, if you can believe that.
Yeah.
Sosi in the shotgun, drops back to pass. Pressure coming, hit as he throws. Ball's in the air, and it falls incomplete, and a flag is going to come in on the play. Now the question on this will be is if the ball got tipped at all, then I think they'll wave off the pass interference, but they're calling pass interference, it looks like.
Now, I don't think the ball was tipped. I think it was they hit Sosi's arm.
Yep, and so they are going to call the pass interference. So that'll take him down to the 42-yard line.
Clock is still running and been running that whole time.
They're going to talk about the clock. They're going to put 20 seconds on the clock, I believe, or 10 seconds maybe, down to up to 4:50. So 20 seconds on the clock. So 1st and 10 at the Layton Christian 42-yard line for Milford. Down 24-3 in this semifinal game. Trips left, one receiver to the right. That's Rose to the right. Takes the snap. They're going to give to Blackburn. Blackburn trying to find some space. He's running away from that defense as they got in the backfield in a hurry. And the safety, Malik Johnson, able to come up and force him out of bounds for a loss of yards.
Very fundamentally sound is the defense of Layton Christian. They've stayed in position all game long. They've covered Milford's wide receivers very well, and they've had a great game plan that they've executed perfectly to stop Milford's offense.
Going to be a loss of 2 to the 44, so 2nd down and 12. That makes it so that Milford now has negative rushing yards in the game. Here's a pitch to Hardy, able to avoid a tackle, breaks another tackle, and he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more as he gets tackled out of bounds at the 44-yard line. So no gain.
Had to work hard to get back to that line of scrimmage. Layton Christian's put a stop to that outside toss play all game long. I don't think Milford's gained 1 yard from it.
So 3rd and 12. Trips right, one receiver to the left. Sosi in the shotgun formation. Send Barnes in motion. That's Colton Barnes. Drops back to pass. Hit as he throws. Does not get rid of it as he goes down to the turf. Another sack for the Layton Christian defense. Bailiff and Report were there. The Iverson Report that came through
54,
there.
54
Iverson Report again. So they lose yards all the way back to their own 47. And they're going to go for it on 4th and long with 3.5 minutes to go in the game. Trips right, one receiver to the left. Sosi drops the pass, just going to throw it as far as he can on the right side for Colton Barnes. He's going to make the catch, but he'll be short of the 1st down, about 4 yards short. And there will be a turnover on downs for Milford, the 37-yard line.
A great job by Colton Barnes going up and getting that ball between a couple defenders. Just the pressure from Layton Christian didn't allow Sosi to get into that throw.
So turnover on downs for the Tigers. Layton Christian with a 3-touchdown lead takes back over with 3:19 to go in the game. On their own 37. First and 10 for the Eagles. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ribeiro will be in the shotgun formation with Jaitis Mwala to his right in the backfield. Takes the snap, the give to Jaitis Mwala, lowers the shoulder as he goes up the middle and picks up about 6 yards on the carry.
You know, Layton Christian really come out this second half when they lined up 8 guys up front and, you know, they just put their heads down and run the football. They haven't changed the formation. I think there was only one play where they went into a double or triple wide receiver set in this second half, and they've really imposed their will.
So 2nd down and 4 now for Layton Christian. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Chitra Mwalo again will be to the right of Ribeiro in the backfield. Shotgun formation. Left to right. Tagadugu comes in motion. They're going to give it to him. Trying to get to the near side on the jet sweep. And he's able to pick up a first down. Took a shot, stayed on his feet, and then Quade Thompson brings him down from behind inside Milford's territory to the 45.
Yeah, using their speed back to get around the edge on the jet sweep. Going to the wide side of the field. Great play design. Very well coached Layton Christian team.
13-yard gain on the run. 12-yard gain, on the run for Tagadugu. 1st and 10. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Vaitaki now in at running back for the Eagles. Shotgun formation for Ribeiro. They send Tagadugu in motion. They're going to fake the jet sweep, give to Vaitaki instead. He had a big hole to run through, ran through Trey Rose, inside the 35, down to the 34-yard line for a first down.
Yeah, Quade Thompson on the tackle for the Tigers, but Vaitaki, big bruising running back.
21 carries for 72 yards now for Manu Vaitaki. 1:40 to go in the game. Down to the Milford 34-yard line. 2 to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Shotgun formation. Ribeiro takes a snap. He's going to keep it himself as he pulled it out and just go to a slide at the 29-yard line for a 5-yard gain.
I wrote down in my halftime notes that I didn't know what kind of runner Ribeiro was, but I really thought that play would have been open for them. Little read option, quarterback keeper there. As hard as you have to key on them 2 running backs, I mean, it's definitely a great play to have in your book.
So 2nd and 5 as they let that clock wind down. We'll have to snap it just one more time in this game. Now they will go into the victory formation. Ribeiro takes the snap, takes the knee, and that will do it. Layton Christian heads back to the state championship game with a 24-3 win over Milford. They will play their Canaber Enterprise next week at Utah Tech University, and the 4th-seeded Milford Tigers has their season come to an end here on the campus of Southern Utah University.